shopping list. It can answer unusual questions. And it can also play this radio station. Just say, Alexa, play The Answer Chicago. That's all it takes, and it works on all Alexa devices. The Echo Dot, and Amazon Show. So now, Alexa will really have all the answers you need.
What happened? You used to go hours without visiting the bathroom. Now it seems like you're constantly getting up to pee. Listen, the makers of Super Beta Prostate are introducing a new wonder pill, Super Beta Prostate P3 Advanced, with 3 key ingredients that are great for your prostate. To celebrate, your first 30-day supply is free. Pay shipping and handling. Get P3 Advanced free. Call 1-800-215-9360. 1-800-215-9360. 1-800-215-9360.
You've heard of living trusts and how they can help protect your assets, but you may not know if a living trust is right for you. Or maybe you have questions about creating your own living trust. The fact is, almost everyone can benefit from a living trust, which can protect your assets from the court system and your loved ones from unnecessary expense and inconvenience. Learn more at a free seminar Thursday, January 25th. Estate planning attorney Robert Zapolis will explain how to create your own living trust, estate planning under the new tax laws, why a will does not avoid probate, and more. Have your estate planning and living trust questions answered absolutely free. Don't miss this important seminar, Thursday, January 25th at 6:30 p.m. at Papa Joe's Restaurant, 145th and LaGrange Road in Orland Park. The seminar is free and a complimentary dinner is served, but you must make a reservation now. Call 708-478-1400. Call 708-478-1400. Again, 708-478-1400.
Shoot Point Blank is Chicago's leading shooting range and firearms store. Featuring 20 climate-controlled shooting lanes, complete retail store, and firearm education classes for all experience levels. Whether you're a new or expert shooter, now you can experience the Shoot Point Blank difference and see for yourself why so many people are talking about Shoot Point Blank.
I can tell you, I was impressed as soon as I walked through the door. The employees were really helpful, very patient, and knowledgeable, too.
My wife and I had a wonderful experience. We felt very comfortable and informed.
Brett was very friendly and respectful, and he answered all my questions. Because I'm new to pistols, I'm grateful he was patient and helped me decide what to buy for my new firearm.
For a huge selection of new and used firearms, ammo, and state-of-the-art indoor shooting range, visit them in Hodgkins, Mokina, Naperville, or Merrillville. Or check out shootpointblank.com. Experience the difference. Shoot Point Blank.
AM 560's Passport to Paradise contest is open to any legal U.S. resident, age 18 or older. To enter, download the AM 560 mobile app and fill out the entry form between January 22nd and February 9th, 2018. One grand prize winner will be randomly chosen on February 12th and will receive a 7-night trip for 2 to Riviera Maya, Mexico, including round-trip airfare and a junior suite at the Secrets Maroma Beach Riviera, Cancun. Approximate retail value $3,334. Visit 560theanswer.com for complete rules.
5:10 coming up on 5:11 this morning. Let's get an update on the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. You can barely see Jim Talamonte through the fog this morning, but we know he's there. Good morning, Jim.
Good morning, Mike. You're right. We've had some heavy fog this weekend, and it's very heavy this morning throughout most of the Chicago area. Because of that fog, we have flight cancellations, about 50 so far to O'Hare, and about 35 at Midway. Those numbers are likely going up. There are significant flight delays as well, especially at Midway for arrivals and departures. Southwest side of Chicago, the 5900 block South Springfield is closed due to a reported shooting. There's some fire-related activity. To the northwest, the 8200 block West Berwyn, crews are cleaning up, and also the 4500 block of West 46. Inbound Kennedy, the exit to eastbound Congress is now closed till early 2020. Long-term work is part of the Burns Circle. The only access to eastbound Congress now is from the inbound Eisenhower. Can't get to it from the Kennedy or the Ryan. Traffic, service of Pringles. You stack up different flavors of Pringles, you create amazing new flavors. Stack up cheddar cheese, jalapeno, and French onion dip Pringles. You've got yourself a 3-layer dip stack. Makes you a genius. Stack different flavors, create endless new ones with Pringles. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer starts next. your official Chicagoland weather forecast with meteorologist Kevin Snyder.
Cloudy with fog this morning, periods of rain and a thunderstorm throughout the day, high 55. Tonight, cloudy with a couple of showers during the evening, followed by periods of snow and rain late at night, accumulating a coating to an inch, low 32. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560. The Answer.
47 at O'Hare, 48 along the lake, 47 at Midway. Rain in Lansing and Aurora, both at 46. Your next news update is at 5:30. Continuous news coverage at 560theanswer.com. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy starts now on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Kelly Financial Services, helping you secure your financial future today. Visit kellyfinancialservicesinc.com.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. I'm sorry about your Vikings there, Amy.
Oh, it was awful. I mean,
performance.
Honestly, it's going to be the boringest Super Bowl ever. Who cares? The Patriots versus the Philadelphia Eagles? I mean, nobody cares about the Eagles, and their fans
Eagles
are so...
fans did. You know how rabid the Eagles fans are.
Yeah, they're so sick. They throw batteries at players that don't perform well on the field.
It's called incentivizing.
Oh, really? Why were they
also-
wearing dog masks yesterday, by the way? Did you see that? A lot of the fans had
The
dog...
players or the fans?
No, the fans.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's ridiculous.
And
They
did you
look
see
stupid. Take them off.
Did you see what the city did?
Yeah,
They
they greased the poles.
the poles so that fans couldn't climb on them.
I love it. Yeah, because, of course, they took it to the streets when their team won. Oh, yeah, we're going to the Super Bowl. Let's go flip a car over. Maybe set it on fire. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, they're tough. It's a tough fandom there in Philadelphia. I mean,
Yeah.
they're famous for booing Santa Claus
Right.
at Veterans Stadium. So
Yeah.
it's tough. But
Oh, what about
you got you got Tom Brady back for Mr. Dreamy back for number 6.
Yeah.
Try and tie the Steelers, the Patriots, for most Super Bowls won.
Oh, yeah, he played through even with stitches on his throwing hand. He was successful on the field.
Mm-hmm.
But there's one, he's a free safety. Are you familiar with Devin McCourty? I tried to get this in on Friday. He's a free safety, as I just said, for the Patriots, and he finds it's hard to play with Tom Brady's good looks.
Tom looks excellent every day. One of the best looking people I've ever met.
Did he look like his hand was bothering him at all?
When you look at Tom, I mean, the facial, it's hard to look at anything else, so I really only saw his face.
Because they're trying to probe other players about, what's wrong with Tom's hand. They still haven't fessed up which player accidentally hit him or whatever and gave him stitches.
Fascinating. So, yeah, you got the Super Bowl 2 weeks from Sunday, 2 weeks from yesterday. And, this is an opportunity to root for the Eagles. They've never won a Super Bowl.
I know, but I don't want to root for them.
Why not?
I don't like their fans. I'm telling you, they're not normal. And
It's
if
a
you've
city
ever
of brotherly love.
Well, there's no brotherly love.
They got the Constitution Center. They got the Liberty Bell.
They got the bell. Yeah, go see the bell.
Yeah.
You're done in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Climb the stairs that Rocky went on. Yeah.
Now, when I didn't see all the game, do in the owner's box or the Brady box or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Does Bridget Moynihan come with the
other kid?
illegitimate kid along
With the backup baby?
along with Giselle with the standard issue?
No,
kid?
you know what? I have never seen her at any game. She's
curious.
never. Yeah, I don't think she comes to watch the game.
Not did you get tickets at all or?
I don't know if that's part of the settlement that they made. On
Yeah,
the,
I mean,
in
I
the
think part
parenting
of-
contract. I would demand, especially if we get the playoffs, we get to sit in the owner's box.
At least a couple of tickets, right? I mean,
Yeah.
for the
For her and the kid.
for the effort.
Kids are about the same age too. The one that he had with her and the one he had with his current one.
Yeah, he's like Antonio Cromartie, who's got 4 kids that are 3 years old. How do you do that? I wonder.
Dan, how does that happen?
The math, I struggle with the math on that, but because you get the 9-month
Right,
increments
you're
at
supposed-
least, but then you got 4 of the. I don't. Yeah. So some sad news yesterday. In addition to the Jaguars not defeating the Patriots, real sad news. Our friend John Coleman.
I know.
Our friend John Coleman, the great Chicago institution in the field of weather provision,
passed away at the age of 83.
Yeah, he worked, in the business for 60 years. He's been on our show several times, debunking climate change.
My name is Scott Surjak. I'm in the 6th grade at Smyser Elementary School.
That's not it. Excuse me.
CNN has taken a very strong position on global warming that it is a consensus. Well, there is no consensus in science. Science isn't a vote. Science is about facts. And if you get down to the hard, cold facts, there's no question about it. Climate change is not happening. There is no significant man-made global warming now. There hasn't been any in the past, and there's no reason to expect any in the future. There's a whole lot of baloney, and yes, it has become a big political point of the Democratic Party and part of their platform, and I regret it's become political instead of scientific, but the science is on my side.
Yeah, he's was an innovator, co-founder of the Weather Channel, in addition to being a longtime weathercaster, and being courageous enough to speak out as a man of science against climate junk science. That was a clip from his appearance on with that egghead on CNN, Brian Stelter.
Oh, that's your favorite guy.
But yeah, the courage to be one of the lone voices in the kind of meteorological television
because
community.
Reporters lost their jobs. Not reporters, weather people. I don't know if they were certified or not, but if they stood up against climate change and told the truth, they'd get fired or their contract wouldn't get renewed. So Coleman, he was a pioneer in that. Also, he got his first job in Champaign, Illinois in 1968. Well, he was a student at University of Illinois, and that's how he started. So he worked his way up, and we had him on just, 2 months ago?
Yeah, we've had him on a bunch of times. He was always a fun and generous guest. Just like you heard him there, cheerful, but didn't mince words on topics. He loved Chicago. We'd always give a shout-out to Chicago when he was on the show. So we'll miss him. Chicago great, John Coleman.
Connect with Dan and Amy on the AM 560 The Answer mobile app. Just text the word app to 64636 to download the app today.
Is it a government shutdown or a Schumer shutdown? That coming up all day long. We'll be talking about it. But here's your forecast first. You're going to want to leave early for work, definitely. We're going about 20 miles per hour on the outbound Kennedy. Because there's rain, there's thunder, there's lightning, and there's fog. Flights have already been canceled at O'Hare, but it will be warm, a high of 54 degrees. It is currently 46 degrees right now at O'Hare. And then tonight, breezy, a few evening showers. The rain is going to turn into snow, a low of 32. And tomorrow morning, we're going to have snow showers, anywhere from a dusting to an inch. Cooler, a high of 33 degrees. Let's now get into the alarm detection system. Traffic Center. Sloppy start to the work week, right, Jim Telemonte?
Right on, Amy. Good morning. Good morning, Dan. That fog, you're right, Amy, is causing delays and cancellations. About 50 flights canceled at O'Hare. We're up to nearly 40 at Midway now, with delays at both airports, especially thick at the moment, causing issues at Midway. But again, expect delays no matter which airport you're going to. Southwest side of Chicago, police activity after a shooting. Got a closure. 5900 block of South Springfield. This is east of Pulaski. Speeds are reduced on the expressways. Not seeing any real heavy congestion yet, except on the inbound Bishop Ford. You've got about 2 minutes worth of delays, 103rd to merge. Outbound Ryan, there is road work 87th to the split, the 3 right lanes. And there's some work on the inbound Eisenhower, Paulina to Burns Circle, 3 left lanes. That's scheduled till 7 a.m. So they back things up coming into downtown on the Ike. Tollways are foggy, otherwise okay. Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
As a parent, you want what's best for your children. That means sending them to a school where they'll get the superior education they deserve, and that also shares your values. That can be tricky these days, as public schools have changed and private schools can be expensive. Your household budget has already been cut to the bone, and it's hard to imagine where you'll find that extra money. Well, there's help to lessen that financial burden and provide your child with the very best education at half the cost. At AM 560 The Answer, we work with private schools throughout the Chicagoland area to provide tuition for families at half the normal cost. Just log on to halfpriceschools.com and you'll find some of Chicagoland's finest private schools, from preschool all the way through high school, at half the cost. And chances are there's a school right in your neighborhood. Invest in your child's education and future at halfpriceschools.com. A limited number of half-price vouchers are available. Go to halfpriceschools.com now.
Message and data rates may apply.
Guys, this may be the last time you ever have to think about hair loss. Because I'm telling you, Bosley is the real deal. They're giving men their hair back permanently. Their real hair. All it takes to get started on the hair gain train is a single text message. We'll send you a link with direct access to a special website that unlocks an incredible offer. An absolutely free information kit and a free gift card. Simply text STRONG to 85850. Bosley will show you for free how great your hair could look. Dude, this isn't your dad's hair loss treatment. People all over the country trust Bosley because they're America's #1 hair restoration expert, ahead of the curve with the latest technology. And the best part, Bosley's solution is permanent. Drop what you're doing, get direct access to a special site for your free information kit and gift card for $250 off by texting STRONG to 85850. That's STRONG to 85850.
True story. So I urged one of my family members to call CertaPro Painters. He didn't do it, and that painting crew had to come back 3 times to fix their awful, sloppy mistakes, even paint on the floor, if you can believe it. Well, with CertaPro Painters, you get the best in the business. The attention to detail, color selection is truly unmatched. And now is the perfect time to get the interior of your home or business painted. The lower humidity provides an ideal environment for great coverage and quick drying times. They use fine quality paints with 0 or low VOCs, very little to no odor during application. Be an early bird and cross the first item off your 2018 to-do list. It's also the perfect time to spruce up your commercial property. Remember, each CertaPro Painter's business is independently owned and operated, so schedule your free estimate online at CertaPro.com or call 1-800-GO-CERTA. That's CERTA with a C. CertaPro Painters, we do painting, you do life.
AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy, well, it was a wonderful weekend for some compare-contrast. Comparing what you saw and heard at the March for Life.
The what? There was a March for Life?
Yeah, I know.
I had the TV on all weekend long. I never turned it off, and not once. And I checked local media, national as well. Did not hear one word about it.
So the annual March for Life that's been going on for 4 decades plus, that also featured the President of the United States and the Vice President of the United States and the Speaker of the House and celebrities of sorts like Tim Tebow's mom addressing those in attendance in D.C. So the March for Life on one hand, and then the first anniversary of the P-Hat March and the commemoration marches that took place in D.C. and throughout the country. Boy, the comparison contrast of the signs you saw, the behavior you saw, the tonality you heard, kind of stark, so I rather enjoyed it. I think it presented people with a clear representations of the two sides and gave a lot of food for consideration.
Yeah, of course, everyone on my street went to the march. Well, not everyone, but most people did. I had some friends that went, and I said, well, what were you marching for? They're like, well, it was the Me Too, the Time's Up, but also we want to make sure that Republicans, lose in the midterms. And I said, all right, so 300,000 women showed up in Chicago.
Yeah.
Without a solidified message.
Right, according to those people, the same people that estimate crowd sizes at the March for Life of like 3. So the stylistic reporting on crowd sizes.
I don't think there were 300,000 people there in Chicago. Did you watch it? I mean, did you see some of the footage? Because it did not seem. It seemed like 100,000 to me.
Well, by the way, something is happening for all your friends. There's another point of contrast, actually. Amy's friends and neighbors who were at the P-Hat March, including some of the women.
They don't call it that, though, because that's offensive now.
I don't care.
Yeah.
And my friends who were at the March for Life, friend circles. By the way, Josh Jordan notes a CNN poll, since your friends are so interested in the Republicans losing the House, and there's a lot of reason for them to be optimistic, but something is happening. The gap that Republicans face is narrowed. If the midterms were today, which party would you vote for? Democrats 49, Republicans 44. So Democrats still have a 5-point advantage, which is not inconsequential. However, Democrats are down 7 and Republicans are up 6 in that generic ballot. Turns out, I think that those tax cuts had a lot to do with it, and wait till people realize the benefits from those tax cuts, and we'll see if that gap doesn't continue to narrow, where perhaps Republicans are able to pull off a surprise and not suffer the carnage in the midterms that is historic for the party not in the White House, and that you would think would be the case looking at where we have stood over the last year in terms of the polarization of the country and where the enthusiasm is. But some of that enthusiasm is waning on their side and bumping up on Republican side. So, so 10 months is a long time between now and then.
How was Trump at the rally?
Well, Trump from the West Lawn.
Via satellite, right?
Addressing the march with Pence and pro-life families. He had this to say about the pro-life movement and those in attendance.
And most importantly of all, it is the gift of life itself. That is why we march. That is why we pray. And that is why we declare that America's future will be filled with goodness, peace, joy, dignity, and life for every child of God.
So there was a little bit of what Trump had to say. Also, Paul Ryan, I thought, gave some interesting remarks at the speech. Ryan talking about having a pro-lifer back in the White House.
Look at this! Look at this crowd! Oh my gosh! Oh, look at this! Hey, can we just thank God for giving us a pro-life president back in the White House?
And why is the pro-life movement on the rise? Paul Ryan asked and answered that question.
And do you know why the pro-life movement is on the rise? Because truth is on our side. Life begins at conception. Do you know why the pro-life movement is on the rise? Because science is on our side. Just look at the ultrasounds that have shown us more about the preborn child than have ever before. How they develop, how they react, how they feel pain. And most importantly, the pro-life movement is on the rise because we have love on our side. We believe every person is worthy of love and dignity. That is why the pro-life movement is on the rise.
And a Marist Institute survey conducted last month finds 56% of Americans say abortion is morally wrong. 76% want major restrictions on abortion. This runs counter to the narrative you hear from the Planned Parenthood-owned D.C. press corps.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Shut down theater. Terrible show. 5:38.
And later, a possible cougar sighting in DuPage County. But first, let's get into the newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
46 and rain showers, heavy fog also causing travel issues. Around Chicagoland, a dense fog advisory is in effect until 6 a.m. 18 killed, including 14 nationals, were killed by gunmen during a standoff that finally came to an end at the Hotel Intercontinental in Kabul, Afghanistan. Correspondent Kelly Kobila has details about the victims.
Among the dead, South Africans, Ukrainians, and Venezuelans. 11 of the victims were pilots and crew working for Cam Air, an Afghan airline. All 5 of the militants were killed.
Witnesses say the attackers got into the hotel through a kitchen and were shooting guests. Vice President Mike Pence continuing a visit to Israel and Jordan as the Senate is scheduled to vote later today on another proposal to end the government shutdown. Republicans and Democrats continuing to negotiate behind closed doors to find their way out of a shutdown started when Democrats forced the government to partially close early on Saturday. Majority Leader of the Senate, Mitch McConnell, urging his fellow lawmakers back to the table.
So let's step back from the brink. Let's stop victimizing the American people and get back to work on their behalf.
The Kentucky Republican on CNN's State of the Union saying it's his belief that that led to the government shutdown, and it could end if the Republicans were willing to offer a series of votes on immigration separately from a shutdown vote. A Michigan State University trustee says MSU President Lou Anna Simon needs to resign. Mitch Lyons releasing a statement over the weekend disagreeing with the board's previous statement to back Simon as the investigation continues into the abuse scandal surrounding Michigan State faculty member and USA Gymnastics team doctor, Dr. Larry Nassar. The Fourth U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals is hearing arguments on the sentencing of Lee Boyd Malvo. You know that name. The judge ruled that the junior member of the Beltway sniper team that killed 10 in 2002 is entitled to a new sentencing hearing. Police in Florida are searching for someone seen running away from a mall where 2 pipe bombs exploded Sunday evening. More on that investigation throughout the morning. Chicago police are investigating a double homicide on the Northwest Side. Authorities say 2 men were walking near Belden and Austin when someone in a black vehicle shot them. A proposed bill would give 90,000 students in 100 districts in the state access to high-speed internet. It's a new bill being unveiled in Springfield this week. Bulls make their second stop on a 3-game road trip tonight against the Pelicans. Blackhawks and Lightning meet tonight at the UC. The news, a service of La Quinta Inns and Suites. How do business travelers win on the road? By staying at La Quinta Inns and Suites. Relax with contemporary lobby makeovers and stylish room designs. Prepare to win at business. Book now at lq.com. 5:34 is our time. We'll have a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Mike Gallagher says talk of a coup is no laughing matter.
I want you to consider the seriousness of an attempt at a coup. This isn't funny. This isn't lighthearted. This shouldn't be just gossip. Watching people attempt to take down a presidency is starting to really get my attention.
The Mike Gallagher Show. Weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
Progressive Insurance, offering its Home Quote Explorer so shoppers can evaluate options in one place when buying home insurance. Custom quotes and rates are available online. Learn more at Progressive.com.
You've heard of living trusts and how they can help protect your assets, but you may not know if a living trust is right for you. Or maybe you have questions about creating your own living trust. The fact is, almost everyone can benefit from a living trust, which can protect your assets from the court system and your loved ones from unnecessary expense and inconvenience. Learn more at a free seminar Thursday, January 25th. Estate planning attorney Robert Zapolis will explain how to create your own living trust, estate planning under the new tax laws, why a will does not avoid probate, and more. Have your estate planning and living trust questions answered absolutely free. Don't miss this important seminar Thursday, January 25th at 6:30 p.m. at Papa Joe's Restaurant, 145th and LaGrange Road in Orland Park. The seminar is free and a complimentary dinner is served, but you must make a reservation now. Call 708-478-1400. Call 708-478-1400. Again, 708-478-1400.
One size fits all has no place in your bedroom. Hi, I'm Christian von Rickenbach, founder of Helix Sleep, and we know one mattress can't work for everyone. That's why we created the only mattress built for you. Go to helixsleep.com, take our 2-minute sleep quiz, and we'll build your custom mattress and ship it to you for free. Try it for 100 nights, and if it's not the best sleep you've ever had, we'll pick it up and give you your money back. Go to helixsleep.com/talkradio right now, and we'll give you $50 towards your custom mattress. That's helixsleep.com/talkradio.
2018 is an opportunity to grow your business with top talent. But how do you find it? ZipRecruiter. One click posts your job to over 100 job boards. Then, smart matching technology instantly alerts quality candidates about your job. No wonder 80% of employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site in just one day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
To try ZipRecruiter for free, just go to ZipRecruiter.com/talkradio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/talkradio.
5:37 and a check of the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. Speeds are reduced due to the fog and rain. There's a crash in West Chicago at 59 and North Avenue. Kennedy inbound heavy from the River O'Toole to Canfield. 22 minutes O'Hare to downtown, outbound 21. There are flight delays and cancellations at both Chicago airports. The heat is looking okay. The speeds are reduced due to the conditions. About Eisenhower, the delays 25th to Harlem. 32 minutes, 390 to downtown on 29. Now Stevenson, 38 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 34. Ryan is 19 minutes, 95th to downtown. Bishop Ford now 25 minutes, 80-94 to the merge. Tollways are still light. Traffic, service of Pringles. You stack up different flavors of Pringles, you create amazing new flavors. Stack up cheddar cheese, jalapeno, and French onion dip Pringles. You've got yourself a 3-layer dip stack. Makes you a genius. Stack different flavors, create endless new ones with Pringles. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. Cloudy periods of rain, maybe a thunderstorm crossing the area with morning fog, high 54, breezy overnight. We'll have rain early and then snow later on into the evening, into the early morning hours, low 32, and morning snow tomorrow, a high only of 33. Currently rain and 47. Next news coming up at 6. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by the Money Hour radio show, Saturday afternoons at 3 on AM 560, The Answer. Brought to you by Pearshell Financial Group.
It's a government shutdown.
Dan and Amy, we're in day 2.
Yeah, so
Government shutdown. How has
how
your
are you
life?
mourning?
Well, how's your life been impacted? 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro, answer line 64636DA, turnkey.pro, text line. This is a bit of a therapy session. We want to let you,
Vent? I mean, is this going to be cathartic or what?
Share your stories of woe with the government shutdown, the horror, the fear. We want this to be cathartic for you. And we'll do the best we can to tell you that Christmas is still going to happen this year.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
No, Santa stopped making toys for next year.
We were finding out if the federal government is the wingnut holding Western civilization together. We're going to find that out in short order. We haven't had this kind of challenge since way back in 2013 when the government shut down for 16 days. Remember that? Remember the chaos? Remember how your life was turned upside down for those 2 weeks?
I remember because Honor Flight Chicago brought World War II veterans to the memorial, and they kicked them out. It was an open-air space. They said, no, you need to leave.
They tried to kick them out, and then those World War II veterans picked up the gates blocking their entrance to the monument, to the World War II memorial, and they walked in because that's what World War II veterans do. 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro, answer line 64636DA, turnkey.pro, text line. Do you fear that rapture is near per this temporary pause and 17% of the government operating with some workers being furloughed that will ultimately get back pay?
Well, I did feel bad, but the problem was rectified. For troops overseas, it came out that because of the government shutdown, they were not able to watch the AFC or NFC championship game.
They didn't miss anything
But
in the NFC.
Actually, yeah, they didn't. That was a boring one. But the White House stepped in, intervened, and they were able to watch the game. But also, Panda Cam at the zoo. Panda Cam's down. It's a really big deal.
Okay, Panda Cam.
Panda Cam, put that on your list.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I do feel bad for the 850,000 people who will be locked out today, because some of them, they interviewed some of them. They're hardworking. They live paycheck to paycheck, and they're not going to get a paycheck on Friday. They'll be back paid, but if you live paycheck to paycheck, you need that when you're supposed to get it. You need it on time.
Yeah. That is a real sob story that you offer.
Did I make you cry?
Just to be clear, to you're not going to have people not getting their Social Security checks. You're not going to, in other words, Social Security, Medicare, federal retiree benefits, they're still going to be made. Checks are still going to get cut. This thing is autopilot. All of this is so much trying to whip people into a frenzy, whip the ill-informed and those that are happy to be ill-informed into a frenzy, to score cheap political points, to serve a constituency, because as everybody who listens to this show knows, because they pay attention, it's about Democrats trying to hold up Republicans and get them to blink because they're used to Republicans blinking over amnesty for DACA recipients. That's what this is. For those people that were crying hysteria over Ted Cruz and Mike Lee attempting to, quote unquote, shut down the government 4 years ago over Obamacare repeal. I mean, this is a bridge much further than Obamacare repeal, talking about, a completely tangential, non-budgetary item, the designation of these DACA beneficiaries.
Well, and then, the mainstream media tries to scare you. The CDC is not going to be flu monitoring. They're going to be tracking where people have come down with the flu and have died from the flu. IRS customer service closed. Some disaster recovery efforts closed.
Just so, again, to put a fine point on it, you're not going to get the responsive customer service you're used to from the IRS today.
No. When you call, it'll say, we're closed today. Please try again.
Yeah.
Press 1 and press 2.
As opposed to just saying, leave us alone, which is the normal recorded message you get from the IRS. If we want to talk to you, we'll show up at your door, which is the normal recorded message you get from Jim and Sheboygan. You're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm very depressed. Over the weekend, I read an article about global warming and how it creates depression, and now the government shutdown on top of it.
Yeah.
I'm concerned.
Well, thanks for the call, Jim. We're here for you. Want to be a bit of a support group, support network. If the government shuts down in the forest and nobody hears it, that's the sound of liberty dying. Mark Stein's opening line in his piece on his blog about weaponizing the shutdown, which is, of course, what Democrats are trying to do. The sound of liberty dying. Government is so expansive. It's so distant. It's so expensive, and yet it has so little positive material impact on your daily life, other than, of course, when you become a beneficiary of one of the Ponzi schemes that the government runs. So is that living in a free society, I guess, is Stein's point, and it's an interesting one to raise at this time. Tom Cotton, by the way, Senator Tom Cotton from Arkansas, he responded to Lindsey Graham. Lindsey Graham suggesting that with the shutdown, of course, this was the reason Democrats are playing this card, because they're used to dealing with Republicans like Lindsey Graham who are willing to fold at the first sign of trouble.
Yeah, now he's back. He and Jeff Flake are back on.
Tom Cotton, not much of a surrender Republican, unlike some of his colleagues. And Lindsey Graham said to Tom Cotton, Tom Cotton, this hard line he's taking on immigration, demanding an end to chain migration, the diversity visa lottery, and so forth. He's turning into the Steve King of the Senate. In terms of being intransigent and demanding things that are not realistic. Because this is an important point, we talk about this being about DACA, but it's about chain migration. It's about DACA indirectly. It's really about chain migration directly. And that, of course, has relevance to the DACA recipients. Are they going to be able to bootstrap their parents who brought them here of their own volition illegally? Tom Cotton responding to Lindsey Graham. So here's the state of affairs within the Senate caucus.
The difference between Lindsey Graham and Steve King is that Steve King can actually win an election in Iowa. In 2016, we had a presidential campaign. Donald Trump won our party's nomination. Lindsey Graham didn't even make it to the starting line. The American people have made it clear, certainly Republican voters have made it clear, that they want Donald Trump's approach to immigration, which is strong on our border and focused on American workers when it comes to legal immigration, but also being generous to the DACA population, giving them legal protections.
Yeah, so the Trump vision for immigration, along with quote-unquote hardliners like Tom Cotton, or the Lindsey Graham vision, which is, we'll take whatever the Democrats will give us, even though we're the majority, seems to be the choice being bounced back and forth between Republicans in the Senate, in particular at this point. But I don't see any give. I don't see any net. And the net is I don't see give at this point, and I certainly hope that there isn't, because if you want to reverse the gains Republicans have made in the public's mind through the tax cuts, cave here. Cave here.
Well, Schumer's last offer was, we'll give you funding for your border wall, but we need amnesty for DACA. And then they adjourned. They were supposed to take a 1 a.m. vote. They said, no, everyone go home and sleep on it. They're going to be back there today at noon to take a vote.
El Gaito, Lou Gutierrez said he would personally build the wall in exchange for amnesty for DACA, but that's not what's on the table. And as the entire nation heard at that hour-long meeting with the president and with congressional leaders from both parties, here are the things that we want. He's not being obtuse about it. In exchange for some permanent status for DACA designees, we need the funding. We need to deal with chain migration and make it more merit-based. We need to end the diversity visa lottery. These were things that were put on the table at the beginning. So this idea being promulgated by Democrats that there's some kind of negotiation going on after the fact is not true, and the entire nation saw it. Bruno in Naperville, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Yeah, the Democrats are playing the long game here. They understand that the electorate is precariously balanced, and all they have to do is import a few million more left-leaning voters from south of the border, and they will win every election for as far as you can see. So this is, like you said, this is not about the wall, although the wall is something I'd like to see. This is about chain migration, diversity visa, about illegals voting, about all of that stuff. We will lose the country in the next 5 to 10 years if we cave on this issue.
Yeah, thanks for the call, Bruno. And this is the importance of this issue is something that David Brooks took up. He and Mark Shields went on NPR. Listen to Brooks about immigration in our country at this point.
This is all funneling down to a debate about immigration. We used to have debates about the size of government or debates about war and peace, but immigration is now one of the central issues in American life, and it's really at the core of this thing. And the Republicans clearly feel, especially in red states, they can go to red states and say, we want to keep government open for Americans, we want to keep health care for Americans, we want to keep the Army for Americans, and they want to hold it up for a bunch of illegal Americans. So which party do you support? And that's what Republicans are going to hang their hat on in a country that's rapidly diversifying.
Brooks is sort of intimating that that's a bad play. I don't think it's necessarily a bad play. Not when you're open-minded about immigration generally. In other words, this being a welcoming place for productive people the world over. Not when you're willing to deal on DACA. And also, this idea of immigrants, remember, we've talked about this before. Second, third generation immigrants have a very different view about issues like amnesty than do those that are here illegally and their advocates in the D.C. press corps and the Champagne Socialist wine and quiche crowd. Very different view, because so many of them came here legally, and so they don't appreciate line jumpers. Scott on the West Side.
Hey, Dan and Amy, thanks for taking my call. For me, the solution is very simple, and that is that you don't pay the federal employees for their days off, and that they'll apply the pressure to get a deal done. The whole DACA thing doesn't belong in a budget talks at all, and maybe they need to start arresting the parents of these DACA so-called children that are all in their 20s and 30s, and maybe that would help too.
Thanks, Scott.
You're listening to Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
It's going to happen. You're going to need a plumber. And when you do, choose AHS Plumbing and Sewer. Always honest service. That's what they stand for. Their team has over 25 years experience in the plumbing, drain, and sewer care business. If you have drains backing up, water leaks, or basement flooding, call AHS Plumbing and Sewer to solve your issue quickly and permanently. serving Lake County, Illinois and North Cook County. Over 700 Angie's List reviews and dozens of awards. A-plus rated with the Better Business Bureau. AHS Plumbing specializes in all types of drain and sewer care, including flood control. They're the company people know, like, and trust to care for their homes. Not the biggest, simply the best. Licensed, bonded, and insured, ready to serve your plumbing, drain, and sewer care needs in Lake County, Illinois and North Cook County. Need a plumber? Call AHS Plumbing and Sewer. Call Dan the Plumber at 847-636-2124. That's 847-636-2124. Online at ahsplumbing.com. ahsplumbing.com.
Excuse me. You know how to protect yourself from the flu, right? Get a flu shot. You take preventative measures to keep yourself safe against colds and viruses. But how do you protect your computer network? Ransomware, viruses, hacks, intrusions can cripple your company's computer network, stopping business in an instant. Is your network safe and protected? Can your data be restored easily? If not, you need to make an appointment today with Turnkey IT. Turnkey IT provides frontline security for your network and its data. So if there is an email attachment opened in error, Turnkey IT knows how to fix the situation right away. They arm your network with cutting-edge antivirus, disaster recovery, and proactive monitoring software systems to stop virus outbreaks before they have a chance to spread. Over the phone or in person, Turnkey IT is your network safeguard against this season's worst bugs. See what a dose of Turnkey proactive support can do for you. It's easy. Visit turnkey.pro.
Hi, I'm Andrea Kashava, owner of Tulane & Associates, an accounting and tax service in Elk Grove Village. If you're a small business, feeling snubbed or overcharged by your current accounting firm, I invite you to give us a try. You shouldn't have to feel overlooked by your current tax accountant because you're a small business. Small businesses and individuals are my specialty. I will always treat you and your business with respect, and we'll take care of as much or as little as you'd like us to do. From payroll to sales taxes, financial statements to business and personal taxes, projections, or bookkeeping services. Call Tulane & Associates at 847-952-1510 or visit TulaneandAssociates.com. That's THULIN, Tulane & Associates. Get a no-cost 1-hour initial consultation that could change the way you do business. Call 847-952-1510. That's 847-952-1510.
Hey, we did it. We met our Food for the Poor goal. And I want to take a minute to say thank you. Thank you to each and every one of you who participated in our annual campaign. Because of you, we were able to raise close to $200,000 and to provide food for a year, clean water for life for over 3,200 children and their families in countries throughout Latin America and the Caribbean. And we're especially grateful to the many business benefactors who supported this campaign. When you hear their ads on the station, we'd ask that you support their business as a way of thanking them for their generosity. Doesn't it sound like I gargled glass this morning? And just because the Christmas season is over and we're in a new year, that doesn't mean the need has gone away. You can still make a 50.
To learn more about how a St. John's Northwestern Military Academy education can give your child the advantage he or she deserves, don't miss an upcoming St. John's Open House. For open house dates and more information, call 1-800-SJ-CADET. That's 1-800-SJ-CADET. Or visit their website, sjnma.org. That's sjnma.org.
Mike Gallagher says talk of a coup is no laughing matter.
I want you to consider the seriousness of an attempt at a coup. This isn't funny. This isn't lighthearted. This shouldn't be just gossip. Watching people attempt to take down a presidency is starting to really get my attention.
The Mike Gallagher Show. Weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
5:57. Let's get an update on the roads. Tough sledding this morning. Heavy fog and rain in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. With a look at the numbers, here's Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. Speeds are reduced across the board. Kennedy, 30 minutes. O'Hare to downtown. Outbound, the same. Additional delays on westbound 190 approaching O'Hare. There are flight delays and cancellations. Eisenhower looking at a 39-minute drive, 390 to downtown. Outbound 31. Stevenson, already 50 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Outbound okay. Ryan, 22 minutes, 95th to downtown. Bishop Ford, 30 minutes, 80-94 to the Ryan. Eastbound Reagan tollway slow, 22nd to the Eisenhower. The other tollways are fairly light. Traffic, service of account temps. When you could use help closing your books and need additional staff, it's time to call Accountemps. They can provide you with bookkeepers and other accounting and finance professionals on a temporary or project basis. Fast. Call today, Accountemps, Robert Half Company. Another issue, until on the northwest side, there's a power outage causing delays at the intersection of Diversity Western and Elston. Expect some heavy congestion in that area. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next with Dan and Amy, but first, your official Chicagoland weather forecast with meteorologist Kevin Snyder.
Patchy morning fog, otherwise today periods of rain and a thunderstorm, high 55. Evening showers followed by periods of late night snow and rain, accumulating a coating to an inch, low 32. Morning snow showers, then remaining cloudy and breezy the rest of the day. Tomorrow, high 35. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
Rain showers, fog, 46 at O'Hare. The news is a service of Pringles. When you stack up different flavors of Pringles, you create amazing new flavors. Stack up cheddar cheese, jalapeno, and French onion dip. Vegas. Bulls make the second stop on their 3-game road trip tonight against the Pelicans. Blackhawks and Lightning meet tonight at the UC. The Patriots headed to their 8th Super Bowl since 2001. They beat Jacksonville, and the Eagles beat the Vikings in the NFC title game.
And Senate minority to meet with Pence on this trip over that issue as well. Another big win for an Oscar contender. 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri wins Best Ensemble Cast. The big prize at the Screen Actors Guild Awards on TNT TBS. It also won a Golden Globe. This Is Us won the Best Ensemble for TV. Milo Ventimiglia stars in the show.
The people that watch with us every Tuesday night and embrace a show that reflects positivity and hope and inclusion. We love you. Thank you very much.
Fox News, fair and balanced.
On Tuesday, January 30th, President Donald Trump will deliver his first State of the Union address to Congress, to the country, and to the world. And AM 560, The Answer, is throwing a party, and you're invited. It's a taste of freedom, a State of the Union viewing party, presented by HealthInsuranceMentors.com at Avante Banquets in Fox River Grove. Enjoy a 3-course meal as you watch the president's speech. Tickets start at just $56 and are on sale now at 560theanswer.com/taste. Sponsored in part by StoreLock.
When you're hiring, you want qualified candidates fast, and it can be hard to know where to find them. More than 3 million businesses use Indeed.com, the world's #1 job site. Whether you need entry-level or highly skilled employees, Indeed helps you find great talent and make the right hire. Indeed is offering new users a $50 credit to give their first job post premium visibility as a sponsored job. Redeem this offer at Indeed.com/promo. That's Indeed.com/promo. Terms, conditions, and quality standards apply.
What happened? You used to go hours without visiting the bathroom. Now it seems like you're constantly getting up to pee. Listen, the makers of Super Beta Prostate are introducing a new wonder pill, Super Beta Prostate P3 Advanced, with 3 key ingredients that are great for your prostate. To celebrate, your first 30-day supply is free. Pay shipping and handling. Get P3 Advanced free. Call 1-800-215-9360. 1-800-215-9360. 1-800-215-9360.
This is Dan Proft with 60 Seconds of Sanity, sponsored by Upstream-Ideas.com. A 75-year-old gropey, dopey plagiarist could win, but Oprah couldn't. A 76-year-old Trotskyite from Vermont with a wife under federal investigation for bank fraud could win, but Oprah couldn't. Viewed against Biden's shovel-ready ribbon cuttings and Bernie's renamed post offices, Oprah is clearly the most qualified candidate. To doubt Oprah's viability is to be oblivious to the era of puerile YouTube celebutants ushered in by their helicopter parent friends. As our electoral politics careens towards part reality show, part awards gala, Oprah could do to Dems in 2020 what Trump did to Republicans in 2016, turn them into seat fillers. Half the nation proved they care only about what a president says and how he says it. They didn't like Obama's policies, but they liked his pseudo-sophistication and Al Green impersonation. They don't like Trump's coarse rhetoric, but they like his policies and Alec Baldwin's impersonation. Such an electorate is a target-rich environment for a professional sentimentalist like Oprah. The false good of sentimentality from the false gods of celebrity is what the people want. As Oprah protege Dr. Phil might say, when you choose the behavior, you choose the consequences.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Mortgage Makeovers, a show walking you through stress-free mortgage options.
Governor's race here. It's governor's race. 2 primaries, and also 2 candidates already trying to point an eye towards the general. That would be both J.B. Pritzker, a.k.a. Spalding.
No neck, yeah.
And Bruce Rauner. So Rauner
He's the incumbent, don't you know?
I've heard. He used some audio recordings of J.B. Pritzker and Rod Blagojevich that were part of FBI surveillance of Blagojevich that somehow the Trib obtained, even though there's a seal on them. And by the way, Patty Blagojevich, none too happy about that seal being broken and Ronner using them in a commercial. And he's, you've probably seen him, he's been airing the 30-second commercial variety of excerpts of the conversation that was recorded by FBI between Blagojevich and J.B. Pritzker. Well, now he's released all 12 minutes of the recordings between Pritzker and Blagojevich. And, there's...
What do you think?
There's a lot of...
I can't wait to hear him. So.
There's a lot of whipping up of... attempting to whip up people's interest, that this is sort of a smoking gun. And, of course, Pritzker's primary opponents, Daniel Biss, Chris Kennedy, are taking shots at him. But I'll let you hear the pertinent parts here, and you tell me. So this is Rod Blagojevich and J.B. Pritzker. Remember talking about the
vacant Senate seat, right?
Well, they talked about a lot of things. The U.S. Senate seat was one of them.
Yeah.
Of course, the seat that Obama was vacating because he was elected president of the United States. So J.B. Pritzker talking about Senate, but also talking about what J.B. Pritzker expressed the most interest in, which is an appointment to be the state treasurer.
Oh.
Listen.
The only way to make the political problem go away in that scenario would be, that I can think of, is to say he's not running for re-election, which doesn't do anybody any good, so it's probably not a good scenario.
No.
The treasurer thing's a different thing.
Yeah. You did. This is a good option. Keep going. Talk to me.
It's putting a business person in a business person's job.
Yep.
I think I would be able to get people like Bill Brodsky. Those things make sense for you. I'd love to help you in any way.
Had the sinister music when the substance of it isn't sinister enough.
I know. That did nothing for me. I mean, they were just talking, and he thought he'd be effective in this position, and he can get some people to go on board with a plan, and that wasn't sinister at all. That was just a nice conversation they were having.
All right. Now
all right, you got something else for
Try
me?
this one. Rod Blagojevich suggesting something JB hadn't considered.
Yes.
If he has to cut a deal with Mike Madigan to appoint Lisa Madigan to the Senate seat, then that opens up the state attorney general post. What about that?
But what if, and I'm telling you, this could happen, because I know how Madigan is. He says, I'll give you health care, I'll give you a capital bill. Okay? I'll balance what works with you to balance the budget the way you want to do it. I'll raise taxes on people. And you make Lisa the senator. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
That puts me in a moral dilemma. Because of all of the prospective candidates, dealing with her, suing us to support Bush kicking 35,000 poor people off of health care.
Yeah, I know.
All that.
Let's do it. You should do it. I'd take that.
Morally repugnant. I probably have to do it.
I'd do it.
Okay, and then there's an AG I can appoint, JB.
You're doing the right thing for the people.
Are you a lawyer?
Yeah.
There's an AG that I appoint.
Oh, that's it.
You see what I'm saying?
Oh, there you go.
I mean, don't rule that one out.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not promising. I'm just saying these are all scenarios. What?
A lot of things to think about. Let's continue the conversation another time because I got to run into this thing.
All right.
But Rod, I really, and look, I don't want to seem like I'm, out here looking for a job. I honestly, I'd like to help you, and I also think there's probably something I might be able to do. But the treasurer thing actually seems totally logical to me and not harmful to you.
If he does that, I'll call you right away. If he ends up going there, I'll call you right away, and we'll talk about it seriously and get focused.
You know what the best part about that is, that exchange?
Yeah.
The best part is, number one, hey, you got a law degree? I can put you in an AG. He doesn't even know he has
a law degree. I know.
He doesn't know, doesn't care. He's just trying to put square pegs in square holes as it pertains to his benefit. That's Blagojevich. And then the other part about Madigan and the horse trading, Madigan will do raise taxes. He'll cut this. He doesn't care. This is about angling. So it was more, to me, illustrative of Blagojevich and Madigan, which rings very true, than necessarily Pritzker on this. But does this trouble you? Do you hear nefarious activity, or do you hear a guy who's, like so many people, lobbying for a position, making a case, and engaged in the art of politics? Of course, J.B. Pritzker's never been accused of any wrongdoing.
No.
312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line. 64636DA, turnkey.pro text line. Now, okay.
I think this actually helps Pritzker. I mean, you hear him saying, I'm not asking for a job or need a job. I just want to help.
JB
So
Pritzker.
that sounds like he, his
All
good
right.
intentions and his heart. That
All
he
right.
just, he doesn't need this job, Dan.
Well,
whatever job he's, got
No,
or
right.
vying for, you need it.
But I got to go right now, Rod, because I'm starving.
And I've got to eat a small child.
So JB Pritzker and Rod revisiting
Uh-oh.
the Senate seat.
I'll tell you why. There's only one reason that it could work, and then I'm going to drop it because I'm not really that interested in it. I'm not. The only reason I can think of that would work is if you appointed me to serve out the term but not run for re-election. In other words, if the announcement was, that you're doing this because it's a good government move, because it's, this is going to be a terrible couple of years, that you need somebody with financial expertise and someone who's above politics and not, and not running for it and not beholden to anybody, and whose only interest is in fixing the economy and so on. That's the only argument. So I'd leave you with that. I agree with you. I think it's problematic for the press and everybody else. They'll look for something even if there's nothing there.
Right. Having said, can I jump in here though?
Yeah.
If look at, don't misread it, but you got, in my mind, you'd have a much better chance than, let's say, Jan. Okay, and don't repeat that. Okay. Yeah. And this isn't as far-fetched as it might seem, and no one's speculating on you at all.
He'd have a
What
much
did he
better
say?
he'd have a much better chance than Jan, for example, Jan Schakowsky.
Oh, yeah.
And so he's talking about the idea of an appointment, all the firestorm that would be attendant to that appointment, as it was, of course, with Burris, and it would essentially preclude you from running in 2 years for that seat. And he's saying, well, you may be able to survive it and run for the full term in a way that, and win in a way that, say, Jan Schakowsky would not be able to win statewide. That's essentially what he's saying.
Right, but he seemed like he just wanted to be a placeholder. Just stay there for the 2 years, the rest of the Obama's term, and then.
Well, he's saying that's the only
Right.
way it would work, and because that's probably the only way it would work, I'm not really all that interested, because I'm not interested in taking all that heat for a 2-year appointment and then walking away.
Yeah,
that's the
doesn't-
upshot. No, nothing yet. All right, I got one more.
Okay.
This is
it
about.
better be good, Dan.
This is the pay to play conversation concern about political donations.
My problem, the only problem I can come up with for you, I got a lot of reasons why it makes sense. The problem for you would be same problem with the Senate. Really, I've given you contributions.
No.
And what's that?
Oh, I'm sorry to cut you off. Go ahead, JP.
No, go ahead.
No, total non-issue. Well, first of all, you give money to everybody, like Lisa Madigan, okay?
Yeah. No.
Which, incidentally, if you can do for me what you did for her before the end of the year, can you think about that? But
well, I can't. Not while everything's up in the air. But I hear you. Yeah.
Okay.
I hear you. And
yeah.
But anyway,
hey, if we go in that direction, though, if that does happen,
yeah.
There's some other people who can help us that you know.
Sure.
If you feel skittish about that, which I believe you should, but go ahead.
Yeah, I don't think we should even talk about it.
All right, fine.
I understand what you're saying.
Okay.
Assuming no legal problems.
Oh yeah.
Assume
right.
That your pitch is going to be, look, with all the other crap that you could say here, I've done real things.
Right.
And so I think you've got a lot to run on. It's just, we got to get the legal thing behind you.
Right.
Wow. Oh, now that was good. See, you saved the best for last.
Well, what do you think about that?
I think that Pritzker looks like a hero in that conversation. Like, we're not going there.
Hero
okay?
may be strong.
Here's a strong. Okay.
Yeah, that may be a little bit. That may
it's
be
a little aggressive for a Monday morning.
No,
but he seems like respectable. Like he knew exactly where he was going, and he stopped the conversation. He's like, "No, we're not going there, especially with your legal troubles that you're having right now, and because we're having this conversation." So clearly, Rod was a pay to play. He was trying to get campaign donations, and in exchange, he could get either the treasurer's office seat, or maybe possibly the U.S. Senate seat, or maybe Attorney General for Illinois.
312-642-5600 turnkey.pro answer line, 64636DA turnkey.pro text line. Do you, in those clips, which is a good representation of the 12 minutes, did you hear a smoking gun there against J.B. Pritzker?
What do you think? Because I think this helps Pritzker. Doesn't hurt him.
I don't think it helps when you're on FBI surveillance talking to a governor who's in prison. I don't think it helps. I don't think JB's going to run these commercials, so I don't think it helps him. But do I think that this is some kind of kill shot? No. Do I think it's worth, as Ronner has suggested he would do, putting the entire unedited version of the 12 minutes of conversations, on television for people to be bored by? No. I mean, you understand how inert people are to wheeling and dealing. They're inert to actual criminal conduct in this state by politicians. They're inert to theft and embezzlement schemes and cash across a counter in a brown paper bag. They're inert to that. This kind of a guy lobbying because he wants to be an office holder, a guy lobbying the governor for consideration an appointment. I mean, you don't think that happens with every appointment? There's a lot of fanfare associated with this. I think the payoff is sort of not there.
Yeah.
I mean, I really do. I'm no J.B. Pritzker fan, obviously, and that you can infer a number of things going on there. I know exactly what you're saying about donations. I don't want to talk about it. I get I'm picking up what you're putting down. I got it. I'm sophisticated. I give to everybody. But I mean, in terms of the guy in those conversations who was pushing the envelope to criminal conduct, it was Rod Blagojevich, whereas Pritzker kind of pulling the reins and trying to massage around it, assuming that if Rod Blagojevich was still the governor and he had this appointment power, that JB wanted to be treasurer. And also, the other thing, it's not about sale of the Senate seat. It's specific. I mean, you hear Pritzker repeatedly say throughout the conversations that he's interested in the treasurer post because that's a better fit for him, as if anything fits him. And would make more sense for Blagojevich to sell. I don't know. There are other choices in the primary. One of them is Jeannie Ives, of course. And Jeannie Ives has her own video and audio release this weekend. This is her, essentially, announcement, laying out the case in 90 seconds or less.
I grew up in a farming community in South Dakota. I was raised to speak plainly, work hard for what you want, and respect others who do the same. At West Point and as an Army officer, those values were translated into a code by which I chose and choose to live my life. I will not lie, cheat, or steal, or tolerate others who do. My name is Jeannie Ives. I'm running against Bruce Rauner for the Republican nomination for governor because Rauner deserted the conservative families, like mine, who elected him. Rauner promised a revolution. Instead, he led from behind. Rauner committed to take on the political ruling class. Instead, he became one of them. Rauner said he would stand with you. Instead, he knelt before the Chicago bosses. Tax hikes, corporate bailouts, sanctuary state, premium spikes to prop up Obamacare, junked science on gender, and taxpayer funding of abortion on demand. Rauner may act like a country ranch hand, but he's governed like an Ivy League professor. And the truth is, there must be a reckoning for Rauner's betrayal. He has a 3-year record in Springfield, and I have a 5-year record. And this March, you have a choice. You can concede defeat by renominating one of the most deservedly unpopular governors in the country. Or you can join me and get the revolution you were promised. Rauner thinks he can use his checkbook to buy his way back in, only to sell us out. Show him he can't.
Illinois can do a lot better with the right leadership. We have a very strong governorship. We happen to have a weak man in office right now.
Yeah, I think that audio presents more clarity of direction than the and a more compelling value proposition than Rauner's audio of Pritzker and Blago trying to as his reelection value proposition. So I don't know. That's me. I'm just one Republican primary voter. The rest of you will have to decide on March 20.
This is the morning show more Chicago radio listeners are choosing. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Coming up later, welcome, Chicago. First, here's your forecast. Today, cloudy with rain. Can you imagine if this was snow? We'd have a blizzard on our hands. Large amount of rain today. We had some thunderstorms, some lightning this morning. That accompanied with fog, a high of 54 degrees. And then tonight, that rain is going to turn into snow, a low of 32. And tomorrow morning, we'll have anywhere from a dusting to an inch of snow. It will be mainly cloudy, colder, a high of 33 degrees. Let's get into our alarm detection systems traffic center. I'm sure there's some big delays on the roadways. Here's Jim Telemonte with the latest.
You're right, Amy. First of all, the inbound Kennedy, the delays are out of the River Road toll to Lawrence, then Ogden to the Burns Circle. It's 34 minutes. O'Hare to downtown, outbound 40. There are delays on 190 in both directions at O'Hare, and there are between 90 and 100 flight cancellations so far this morning at Chicago's two airports. Eden's 22 minutes late cooked. Kennedy, outbound 19. The Eisenhower, 50 minutes, 390 to downtown, outbound 35. The Stevenson, already an hour, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, 45 minutes for the Tri-State, outbound still okay. Ryan, 25 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, 20 minutes, I-80 to the Merge, Bishop Ford, 30. Northbound Tri-State slow, 95th to 75th. The Hinsdale Oasis to 31st. The Reagan Tollway to the Eisenhower. Adams Tollway heavy from Tri-State to the Kennedy. The Reagan Tollway from 22nd Street to the Eisenhower. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Hola. Hey, we're heading to Riviera Maya, Mexico this year. It's our annual Passport to Paradise trip presented by Arlington Heights Heating and Cooling and by Joe Cotton Ford. We'll be staying at the Secrets Maroma Beach Riviera Cancun Resort and Spa. It's a gorgeous resort. 9 restaurants, 6 bars, serving unlimited premium drinks, which is where you'll find Dan Proft. There's 24-hour room service, beautiful, unlimited luxury, adults-only resort situated on Maroma Beach. It's recognized as one of the world's best beaches. So book your trip by going to 560theanswer.com/passport. Apple Vacations has secured a great price for us for this trip, but it won't last forever. And from now until February 9th, oh, listen up, everybody. From now until February 9th, you can enter to win a trip for 2 by downloading and launching the AM560 mobile app. Just go to 560theanswer.com/mobile to get the mobile app and enter to win this trip. But don't miss your chance to escape the cold and snow of Chicago and spend a week with us in paradise. Go to 560theanswer.com/passport, 560theanswer.com/passport, and good luck.
Hola!
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I'm Mark Gastineau. I played in the NFL for 10 years. I was diagnosed with CTE, with dementia, Alzheimer's, and Parkinson's. The fruits and vegetables that we take from Balance of Nature is the best thing that we could ever do. And I'm calling in now to order extra because of my wife has been taking mine because she sees a difference in me. It is a wonderful thing that Balance of Nature is doing. I hear the testimonies on the radio, but I'm a testimony for myself. And the fruits and vegetables, if I don't take them every single day, my day is not going to go the same. So God bless you, and thank you for what you've done for my wife and I.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first month's order and ship it to you free. Call 800-246-8751 or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
Navigating Chicagoland terrain, the streets and highways in the winter weather is always a breeze, right? Wrong. Unless, of course, you're driving an award-winning Ford SUV or truck from Joe Cotton Ford. Now, more than ever is a great time for a new Ford. America's best-selling brand from Chicagoland's best Ford dealer, Joe Cotton Ford. Not only will you be conquering old man winter, but also getting the white glove treatment without all the hype and pressure you get from other dealers. You see, Joe Cotton Ford is a locally owned dealership that caters to families that keep coming back for generations because of the way they're treated and the Ford brand they can trust. Ready for a different car buying experience with world-class customer service? Then get to Joe Cotton Ford today and drive home your new Ford car, truck, or SUV and forget about not being able to get around town this winter. Gary and North Avenue in Carroll Stream or at joecottonford.com. joecottonford.com.
Message and data rates may apply.
Guys, this may be the last time you ever have to think about hair loss. Because I'm telling you, Bosley is the real deal. They're giving men their hair back permanently. Their real hair. All it takes to get started on the hair gain train is a single text message. We'll send you a link with direct access to a special website that unlocks an incredible offer. An absolutely free information kit and a free gift card. Simply text STRONG to 85850. Bosley will show you for free how great your hair could look. Dude, this isn't your dad's hair loss treatment. People all over the country trust Bosley because they're America's #1 hair restoration expert, ahead of the curve with the latest technology. And the best part, Bosley's solution is permanent. Drop what you're doing, get direct access to a special site for your free information kit and gift card for $250 off by texting STRONG to 85850. That's STRONG to 85850.
AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. So, of course, Saturday Night Live over the weekend took the occasion of the looming government shutdown to take a shot at Trump.
Yeah, Jessica Chastain was the host, and every single skit was about Me Too or Time's Up or something.
I would recommend Molly's Game. Jessica Chastain is in that. It's good.
It's a Weekend Update with Colin Jost and Michael Che.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Good evening, everyone.
Welcome to Weekend Update. I'm Michael Che.
And I'm Colin Jost. Well, congratulations to Donald Trump, who managed to keep our government open for almost one whole year. The government shut down at midnight last night over disagreements regarding immigration.
Yeah, that's the quality of your comedy. Saturday Night Live. Can Morning Joe do any better?
Yeah, well, what happened was Morning Joe, I don't know if you know this, he's quite the musician. He actually, hold on one second here, he actually can write a song and play it on his guitar and sing it. He was marking Trump's 1-year anniversary in office with this song.
Once in your life, you may get the chance to stand against a column of tanks, holding up your hand.
Tiananmen Square? What? Huh?
Once in your life,
do something.
You may
Where's
get
Mika?
the chance to say,
She's a doo-wop girl?
Yeah.
Words like deep within your heart.
Mike Barnacle, also a doo-wop girl on this.
That change the outcome of
No, he's wearing, a suit with no socks.
This is like the worst rip of Crazy Heart I've ever heard.
So do you like it? I mean, he can carry a tune.
Yeah, he sucks. That's it? That's all we got?
It's this 3-minute long song.
That's about Trump's first year in office? Okay. Boy.
Well, he's just telling the women to go take a stand because you have one chance in your life to take a stand. I love the woman that was interviewed on Channel 7 who said, I didn't know that this was going to become an annual event for the Women's March.
My head. Okay. All right. Coming up at 6:36, I think I need a little bit of a palate cleanser. David Drucker from Washington Examiner will join us to talk about releasing the memo, hashtag, as well as the missing text messages from FBI.
But first, let's go into the newsroom. Say good Monday morning to Mike Scott.
Amy and Dan, good morning. Rain and 45. There's no deal yet, but the Senate will take a vote later today aimed at ending the government shutdown. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell.
So let's step back from the brink. Let's stop victimizing the American people and get back to work on their behalf.
A key procedural vote is set for 11 o'clock our time. Republicans proposing a funding extension to February 8th with a firm commitment to take up immigration. Democratic U.S. Senator Dick Durbin says Republicans do not need to lower the voting threshold from 60 to 51 to get the government reopened. The process that has been termed the nuclear option.
With the 60-vote margin, there's a need for bipartisanship. That's all we've asked for. Sit down at the table and let us work this out in a bipartisan fashion.
Vice President Mike Pence is in Jerusalem today.
And it's my great honor on behalf of the President of the United States to be in Israel's capital. Jerusalem.
His comments reflect the White House's recent decision to recognize that city as the capital of Israel. Police in Florida looking for the person seen running away from a mall where 2 pipe bombs exploded yesterday evening. No one was hurt in the explosions at the mall in Lake Wales near Tampa. Nick Foles and the Eagles will be underdogs one last time. Foles throwing for 3 touchdowns, and the Eagles made big play after big play, including 2 by a former Bear, winning the NFC title in a stunning 38-7 rout of the Vikings.
When I was up on that stage, that's something you dream about as a kid. And, just being the magnitude of this game and for us to go out as a team and put together a great performance, that's something really special.
Next up, Eagles' first Super Bowl appearance since 2005 against the team that beat them in 2005, New England. Patriots already favored 5 to 6 points already this morning by odds makers. Heavy fog causing travel issues here in the Chicago area, and now rain gumming up the works on the roads. Chicago police are investigating a double homicide on the northwest side. 2 men walking yesterday near Belden and Austin when someone in a black vehicle fired at them. Police searching for the driver involved in a deadly hit and run over the weekend on Chicago's southwest side. Man struck by a vehicle Saturday night near 85th and Cicero, and the driver took off. Bulls take on the Pelicans tonight. Blackhawks and Lightning meet at the United Center. College hoops Fighting Illini back on its home floor tonight, taking on number 9 Michigan State. The news service of Walgreens, looking to save money on your Medicare Part D prescriptions. As a preferred pharmacy, Walgreens offers copays as low as $0 on Tier 1 generics on select plans. Switch your prescriptions and start saving today. Walgreens, trusted since 1901. 6:33 is our time. We'll have a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Dennis Prager explains how far left the Democrats have gone.
There's one line there that really got me. The free market is not the solution to poverty. And everybody said, oh, that's the Communist Party, that's the Communist Manifesto. And it was the Democratic Party manifesto. We just don't realize how far left this group has gone.
The Dennis Prager Show. Weekdays at 11, right before Sean Hannity at 2 on AM 560. The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Papa Nicholas Coffee. Papa Nicholas Coffee, a family tradition since 1897. You've heard of living trusts and how they can help protect your assets, but you may not know if a living trust is right for you. Or maybe you have questions about creating your own living trust. The fact is, almost everyone can benefit from a living trust, which can protect your assets from the court system and your loved ones from unnecessary expense and inconvenience. Learn more at a free seminar Thursday, January 25th. Estate planning attorney Robert Zapolis will explain how to create your own living trust, estate planning under the new tax laws, why a will does not avoid probate, and more. Have your estate planning and living trust questions answered absolutely free. Don't miss this important seminar, Thursday, January 25th at 6:30 p.m. at Papa Joe's Restaurant, 145th and LaGrange Road in Orland Park. The seminar is free and a complimentary dinner is served, but you must make a reservation now. Call 708-478-1400. Call 708-478-1400. Again, 708-478-1400.
It is 6:35, and let's get an update on the morning roads. In the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center, here's Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. Lots of issues in the suburbs with traffic signals. Also, lights are out in Naperville at 59 and Deal. Got a crash with injuries in Bartlett, Stearns, west of County Farm, and a report of a gas leak in Homer Glen, 159th and Cedar. Edens is 27 minutes. Lake Oak to Montrose, outbound 21. Kennedy, already 46 minutes. O'Hare to downtown, outbound 55. 190 has delays in both directions at O'Hare. The Eisenhower, 55 minutes, 390 to downtown, outbound 41. Stevenson, an hour and 10 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 38 minutes. Ryan, 27 minutes, 95th to downtown. Bishop Ford, 45 minutes, 8094 to the merge. Now to 130th, there's a report of a medical emergency. Northbound Tri-State's low, 95th to 75th. The Hinsdale Oasis, 31st. From the Reagan Tollway to the Bensonville Bridge, Veterans Memorial Tide, Butterfield to Roosevelt. Traffic, service of Account Temps. When you can use help closing your books and need additional staff, it's time to call Account Temps. They can provide you with bookkeepers and other accounting and finance professionals on a temporary or project basis and fast. Call today. Account Temps, a Robert Half company. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. Cloudy, periods of rain, maybe a thunderstorm. Morning fog beginning to peel off just a bit. High 54, breezy, a few evening showers, followed by a rain early, then snow late. A low of 32. 45 officially at O'Hare. Next news coming your way at 7. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by the Money Hour radio show, Saturday afternoons at 3 on AM 560, The Answer. Brought to you by Pearshell Financial Group.
No Victocrats allowed. Why? Because we've got a country to save. Join me, Larry Elder, tonight starting at 7 on AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy, and boy, Trump had a number of messages for a number of constituent groups over the weekend. One was to all of those PHAT solipsists who were commemorating the first anniversary of being self-involved dingbats with weird hats on their heads. He tweeted out in advance of their marches around the country.
Actually, while they were marching, he was tweeting out, and I guess people at the Women's March were like, oh, wait, what is he doing? Here's what he tweeted. Beautiful weather all over our great country, a perfect day for all women to march. Get out there now to celebrate this historic milestone and unprecedented economic success and wealth creation that has taken place over the last 12 months. Lowest female unemployment in 18 years, exclamation point. And I guess that some people, this had spread like wildfire. People were, oh my gosh, President Trump thinks we're out here celebrating him. We're not. We're out here fighting him. But it was a joke.
That's how ignorant they are. They don't get that. Oh, he thinks you're out there to talk about, or you're going to be persuaded to talk about the lowest unemployment rate among women in whatever 2 decades. Yeah. Okay. Just just dial it down for a second. Get those synapses firing again. So that was one message for one constituency. He had another message for Democrats on the issue of immigration. He's had several, but this one took commercial form. Pretty strong.
That's illegal immigrant Luis Bracamontes, charged with murdering 2 police officers. It's pure evil. President Trump is right. Build the wall. Deport criminals. Stop illegal immigration now. Democrats who stand in our way will be complicit in every murder committed by illegal immigrants. President Trump will fix our border and keep our families safe.
I'm Donald Trump, and I approve this message.
Democrats complicit in murder. That's not mincing words.
No, I watched that video or the ad on YouTube, right?
And he had some surrogates out there making a similar case, and frankly, with strong language as well. Martha McSally being one of them. She's, of course, a pilot, served 20 years in the military, and is now running for the seat being vacated by Jeff Flake in the U.S. Senate.
Congresswoman from Tucson.
Right. And she was on with Tucker talking about what she has proposed, distinguished in the House, with McCall and others, distinguished from what Lindsey Graham and some of the less stout of heart Republicans are proposing in terms of a deal on DACA, border security, chain migration, and the rest. Martha McSally with Tucker Carlson on the shutdown.
Well, how do you feel about the Democrats saying basically out loud, provide amnesty or we're going to stop paying our troops?
It's infuriating, Tucker. This is the point I brought up in the White House meeting last week, and I was moved when I heard Dick Durbin say there's lives hanging in the balance or something like that, and I was like moved to jump in and say the only lives that are hanging in the balance right now are those of our military, the men and women that are serving overseas, putting their lives in harm's way. There is a fake deadline created by the Democrats holding them hostage, and while our troops are over there risking their lives for us, these guys are dicking around, excuse my language, trying to come up with some issue that's not even in a top 20 priority of the American people.
I'm not going to tell Martha McSally she can't use that word. Okay, so there it is. Lindsey Graham and the great compromisers of the Republican caucus in the Senate winning the day here. It doesn't sound like it. For more on this topic, we're pleased to be joined by David Drucker. He, of course, senior political correspondent for the Washington Examiner and a CNN political analyst. David, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Yeah, good to be here.
So 16 days, the shutdown lasted 4 years ago. Are we looking at something that will extend right up until Trump's March 5th deadline for DACA designees?
Well, it's hard to tell. I tend to think that this thing is not going to last that long. I think the Democrats are trying to find a way out of this. I also think Republicans are hesitant to let it go on too long because, you never know how these things are going to play out, and they in the past have come out on the short end of them, although they appear to be in a better position now. So I think if Senate Democrats can figure out what they're okay with, and if it's not too big of an ask, then I think the Senate will get a bill passed. But the longer this goes on, the harder it becomes to get out of it, because it becomes less about whatever issues drove you into the shutdown and more about politics and saving face and trying to emerge with your negotiating leverage intact.
Why has Senator Flake and Senator Graham had a change of heart? Now they're with their Republican brothers and sisters.
Well, I mean, I think part of it is neither of them really want to be a part of extending the government shutdown. I think the other part is that Mitch McConnell, as he said on the Senate floor last night, gave assurances that he will move to consider DACA legislation, that is his intention, and that is the wording he used. It is my intention to move to consider DACA legislation once the government is open. It was vague, and we're not quite sure what that means, but I think what they wanted from the leader was a commitment that DACA would be given a hearing and it wouldn't simply be discarded. And that was, I think, good enough for them. And I think they also recognize that the longer the shutdown goes on, two things. One, you get closer to that March 5th deadline. I also think that the longer this goes on, it's possible that the president sort of retreats into a corner where he is not amenable really to any legislation that would address the Dreamer issue, regardless of his past statement saying that it's something that he wants to sign.
Yeah, and the Republican leadership, particularly on the Senate side, McConnell's in a bit of a trick bag, isn't he? Unless he wants to treat Democrats better than he treats his own caucus. So 4 years ago, there was a lot of criticism of Ted Cruz for trying to precipitate the shutdown over Obamacare, non-budgetary item, and so on and so forth. And that was criticism within the party. And so criticism of Ted Cruz, but compromise with Democrats for playing the same game, frankly, even on a less compelling matter. It's kind of a trick bag, isn't it?
Well, I think that the point here is that, 4 years ago, a little over 4 years ago, Republicans didn't have the leverage to do what Senator Cruz was trying to do.
Right.
And there was only one way it was going to end, badly. Republicans control the House, they hold the White House, and although it takes 60 votes in the Senate to pass spending bills, they control the Senate. And for McConnell to allow the minority party in the Senate to dictate terms to the Senate, the House, and the White House would infuriate his own voters and make him look very weak. And McConnell is a tactician. He's not weak. He makes decisions sometimes that infuriate his party because he sees it in the long-term interest of, rightly or wrongly, of maintaining his party's strength and ability to negotiate and get things done in the manner in which they want. And it wouldn't serve that purpose to simply do what the Democrats wanted. And I think that's why you're seeing him hold firm here.
And that's also why he is holding firm against the, again, quote unquote, nuclear option. Here we go again. The president made an overture on considering making this a simple majority proposition, and that was quickly rejected by McConnell.
Yeah, look, I don't understand. I understand sometimes voters' frustration with the rules of the Senate, and I can get that. The president's tweet yesterday, well, it's not going to make any Republican voter unhappy, most likely, was a little bit off message when he's generally been for the past 3 days or so on message when it comes to this, at least since that morning tweet a few days ago when he wondered about the chip element in the House passed CR. All you're going to do if you eliminate the filibuster is diminish the power of the Senate, turn it into a glorified version of the House, and the next time Democrats have control of the Senate, you'll grease the way for single-payer health care and a broad-scale amnesty for all illegal immigrants. They will pass it because you won't be able to stop it in the minority. And I think Mitch McConnell understands that. And he also understands that political atmospherics can change even when many people don't think they can. I mean, in 2010, the map for Senate Republicans looked awful. There was a lot of talk early in the cycle about whether Democrats could get past 60 seats and really control the government even more. And Republicans ended up picking up 6 seats plus that seat in Massachusetts because everything changed, and everything can change, and there's no reason Mitch McConnell wants to change the rules, change the Senate irreparably, and also put his party in a bind after the 2018 elections if things don't go well.
So how do you see this ending? I mean, they were supposed to take a vote at 1 o'clock last night. They're not doing that. They're going to reconvene at noon today. So what do you think anything's going to change from yesterday?
Well, it's possible. I think the fact that they moved the vote was a sign that they think they might be getting somewhere. And usually you hold these 1 a.m. votes, 2 a.m. votes, either because you have no choice or you're trying to squeeze the minority and the opposition and make it really difficult for them. So they came out relatively early, and they said, McConnell said what he said, and Schumer responded, and neither of them were overly partisan or overly aggressive, and neither of them really jabbed at each other. I mean, McConnell said a few words about it being a Democratic shutdown and a Democratic filibuster, all of which is true, but they were basically cordial, and so that tells me they were trying to create the space to get to a place where you can get enough Democrats on board to end the filibuster, and now you have 2 more votes in Graham and Flake on the Republican side. So I guess we'll have to see. It's hard to tell. Depending on who you talk to, you get either optimism or pessimism that anything will come of the noon Eastern time vote. But I thought it was at least you can characterize the move of the vote, the delay, as a positive development.
Story even more underreported than the March for Life. The Release the Memo story, and a good example of this, Congressman Jody Hice from Georgia tweeting over the weekend. Early this morning, I examined the classified 4-page memo from House Intel regarding the FBI, DOJ, and the so-called Russia collusion. To put it simply, wow. I joined the call to release the memo. Americans deserve truth and transparency. You've had members of Congress suggesting that this memo is so explosive they wouldn't be surprised if it leads to the end of Mueller's special counsel investigation into President Trump and his associates. Others saying that once the public sees this, we can hold people involved accountable in a number of ways. Some of these people should no longer be in government. With the number of members of Congress who've seen this memo, I'm surprised it isn't out yet, but do you expect it to be out, and do you have any sense of whether this is hyperbole from some Republicans or this really does have the TNT quotient that's being suggested?
Yeah, I've been trying to figure that out. I'm not sure. I mean, I've talked to a couple of members of Congress actually for the past year at times who have said that things went on that were improper in terms of unmasking, reasons for the unmasking, how the information was handled, what was done with it, who did the unmasking. But we still don't know yet exactly who did what and how, in which manner it was improper. So I'm open to the possibility that all of this is true. Part of me wonders if it'll be another, it's sort of the other side of the coin of the Russia collusion theory, which is there are all these events and things that may look smoky and weird and problematic, but it's never quite a smoking gun. It's like somebody had a meeting. Oh, he had a meeting with a person that he shouldn't have had a meeting with. And they talked about something that might involve something problematic. But it wasn't quite the right players, and we're not sure who really knew about it and what's really becoming of it. And so I'm wondering if that is how the memo is going to play out, or will it just say very clearly in plain English this person in this position did this thing which is criminal, and boom, like, will it be that simple? I'll have to read it if we ever get a chance to know that. I do know, and I understand this, and I don't mean this critically at all, that many Republicans in the House are, allies of the president, and they're working hard to politically discredit the Russia investigation, which is perfectly an above-board sort of political thing to do. During the Monica Lewinsky investigation, there was a whole Democratic war room, and Democrats worked feverishly to discredit the special counsel at that time, Kenneth Starr, and his investigation. So these are things that happen. The question for us is trying to figure out what the real information is. And if they ever release the memo, then we'll find out.
All right. He is David Drucker, senior political correspondent for the Washington Examiner, WashingtonExaminer.com, also a CNN political analyst. David, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Anytime. Thank you.
And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
It's what Chicago is talking about. It's Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy on AM 560. The Answer.
I'm Lou Dobbs. Is it all over for the cigarette? A big year for U.S. oil and possible changes to hog slaughtering. Those stories next.
Thinking about life insurance? What if you could make one free phone call and learn your best price from nearly a dozen highly rated price competitive companies? Well, that's exactly what happens when you call SelectQuote Life. For example, George is 40. He was getting sky-high quotes from other companies because he takes meds to control his blood pressure. But when I shopped around, I found him a 10-year, $500,000 policy for under $25 a month. I'm SelectQuote agent Dan Savino. And believe me, if SelectQuote isn't shopping for your life insurance, you're probably paying too much.
For your free quote, call 800-693-3399. That's 800-693-3399. 800-693-3399. Or go to SelectQuote.com. Since 1985, we shop, you save.
Get full details on the example policy at SelectQuote.com/commercials. Or price could vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available in all states.
Regulators holding a public meeting this week on a closely watched cigarette alternative. The FDA proposal would cut nicotine levels in cigarettes, making them far less addictive. For those who can't or won't quit, the FDA would allow lower-risk products that deliver nicotine without the deadly effects of traditional cigarettes. The International Energy Agency says oil production in the U.S. should rise sharply this year, predicting American production will push past 10 million barrels a day sometime this year. Federal government regulators proposing changes in the way hogs are slaughtered in this country. Officials say the new series of rules would improve industry practices, but critics say they could threaten food safety. Please join me for Lou Dobbs tonight, 7 and 11 Eastern, on the Fox Business Network. This is the Lou Dobbs Financial Report.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I'm Mark Gastineau. I played in the NFL for 10 years. I was diagnosed with CTE, with dementia, Alzheimer's, and Parkinson's. The fruits and vegetables that we take from Balance of Nature is the best thing that we could ever do. And I'm calling in now to order extra because my wife has been taking mine because she sees a difference in me. It is a wonderful thing that Balance of Nature is doing. I hear the testimonies on the radio, but I'm a testimony for myself. And the fruits and vegetables, if I don't take them every single day, my day is not going to go the same. So God bless you, and thank you for what you've done for my wife and I.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first month's order and ship it to you free. Call 800-246-8751 or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
I'm Jerry Kerrigan, one of the owners of FJ Kerrigan Plumbing Company, a third-generation family-run business. Our trusted longtime accountant referred us to Signature Bank, and we've never been happier. On one of our first meetings, Signature Bank CEO Mick O'Rourke said, "You worry about running the business, and we'll take care of everything else." Since that initial meeting, Signature Bank has lived up to every promise they've made. The decision-making is local, the staff is consistent, and the service is outstanding. FJ Kerrigan Plumbing understands the value of long-term customer relationships. and we plan to be a customer of Signature Bank for a long time to come.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. To learn more about turning your business vision into reality, visit signaturebank.bank. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
True story. So I urged one of my family members to call CertaPro Painters. He didn't do it, and that painting crew had to come back 3 times to fix their awful, sloppy mistakes, even paint on the floor, if you can believe it. Well, with CertaPro Painters, you get the best in the business. The attention to detail, color selection is truly unmatched. And now is the perfect time to get the interior of your home or business painted. The lower humidity provides an ideal environment for great coverage and quick drying times. They use fine quality paints with 0 or low VOCs, very little to no odor during application. Be an early bird and cross the first item off your 2018 to-do list. It's also the perfect time to spruce up your commercial property. Remember, each CertaPro Painter's business is independently owned and operated, so schedule your free estimate online at CertaPro.com or call 1-800-GO-CERTA. That's CERTA with the C. CertaPro Painters, we do painting, you do life.
Policies issued by American General Life Insurance Company, Houston, Texas. Not available in all states. For details, visit AIGdirect.com.
Do you have a family? Would you like to help make sure they'll be taken care of if anything were to happen to you? If you answered yes, you probably need life insurance. Now, do you think life insurance is expensive? If you answered yes to that too, you definitely need to give AIG Direct a call. We could find you a $250,000 policy for just $14 a month, which means you could save hundreds of dollars a year. Call us now for a free, no-obligation quote. 1-800-400-1902. Since 1995, we've helped millions of people find out if they could save up to 70% on their term life insurance. See how affordably we can help you protect your family. Call AIG Direct now for your free quote. 1-800-400-1902. You could save up to 70%. That's 1-800-400-1902. 1-800-400-1902.
Mom, what company did you use for your new blinds?
We used Blinds.com. Easy and affordable. Plus, they'll send you free samples, and every order gets free shipping.
Wow, okay.
They even remade our blinds for free because we didn't measure correctly the first time.
Perfect. Thanks, Mom. Smiley face.
Now through January 28th, claim your special listener promo code and save 20% off site-wide when you go to Blinds.com/shutters. Blinds.com/shutters. Rules and restrictions apply.
You wouldn't put a square peg in a round hole, so why would you deploy a traditional firewall in a modern decentralized network? Firewalls have new requirements for businesses leveraging SaaS-based applications and public cloud platforms like AWS, Azure, and Google Cloud. We're in the cloud generation now, so your firewalls have to be engineered to fit right in. Reclaim your cloud network. Try a Barracuda Cloud Generation Network or application firewall free at barracuda.com/firewalls.
AM 560, The Answer.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
How about those text messages missing over at FBI? Rosemary Woods, I thought she passed several years ago. Maybe not. We'll ask Peter Roskam at 7:07.
But first, let's go into the newsroom and say good Monday morning to Mike Scott.
Amy and Dan, good morning. Dense fog causing travel issues around Chicagoland, and heavy rain is falling as well. A man wounded in a drive-by shooting on Lakeshore Drive. 2 killed in a Northwest Side shooting. Bulls take on the Pelicans later on tonight, while the Blackhawks host the Lightning. Cloudy and rain throughout the day, maybe a thunderstorm. WIND Chicago News Time, 7 o'clock.
Government shutdown, day 3. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
The Trump shutdown was totally avoidable. President Trump walked away from not one, but 2 bipartisan deals.
Democratic Senate Leader Chuck Schumer, counselor to the president Kellyanne Conway, counters.
They think they're doing it to be against President Trump. They're being against those who rely upon the government.
Democrats still pushing for protections for some immigrants brought here illegally as kids. Republicans hope a vote today in the Senate will end the stalemate, wanting short-term funding through February 8th with talks to resolve DACA in the interim. So what's affected by the shutdown? Fox's John Decker live at the White House.
Most staff at the
EPA and the Departments of Housing, Education, and Commerce will be staying home today, and about half of the workers in the Treasury, Health, Defense, and Transportation departments will also not be going to work. Visa and passport processing could be delayed, but essential services that protect life or human property will continue, including the Border Patrol, National Security, Postal Services, and air traffic control. The Trump administration says it plans to keep national parks open. Their closure in the 2013 shutdown provoked an angry public reaction. Dave?
John, police in Central Florida looking for whoever detonated 2 explosives at a shopping mall yesterday afternoon, then was seen running away.
After realizing that it was, in fact, a bomb that had gone off, a pipe bomb had gone off, we notified Polk County Sheriff's Office for assistance. We evacuated the mall, set a perimeter.
That's Lake Wells Deputy Chief Troy Schultz. Nobody was hurt. They partied in Philadelphia, celebrating the Eagles going to the Super Bowl. After a 38-7 win over the Minnesota Vikings, they'll play the defending champion Patriots, who beat Jacksonville 24-20.
Oh, so great. It's a great football game. Really, as I said out there, really proud of our players. Did a great job.
New England coach Bill Belichick hoping for a 6th Super Bowl title. The Eagles have yet to win 1. Fox News, fair and balanced.
Rain showers and 45 at 7:02 on AM 560. The Answer. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott. It is a heavy fog day, travel issues throughout Chicagoland, and rain falling as well. A teenager remains hospitalized this morning following a deadly fire over the weekend in Gary, Indiana. Authorities say the blaze broke out Saturday inside of a home in the 4600 block of Delaware Street. Firefighters pulled a 15-year-old girl and 2 elderly people from that home. The 2 older victims died. The teen remains hospitalized this morning at Loyola University Medical Center in Maywood. 2 are dead after a house fire broke out early this morning in Addison. Flames were seen about 12:30 this morning at a home on Ellsworth Avenue. No cause is yet known. Chicago police are investigating a double homicide on the Northwest Side. Authorities say 2 men were walking early yesterday near Belden and Austin when someone in a black vehicle shot at them. Both victims died at a nearby hospital. No one in custody after 4 were hurt in a shooting on Chicago's West Side early yesterday near Division and Kedzie. One of those women, according to police, is in critical condition. The Bulls make their second stop on a 3-game road trip tonight against the Pelicans. The Bulls started that stretch with a win over the Hawks on Saturday. Blackhawks and Lightning meet tonight at the United Center. The Hawks right now out of the playoffs, trying to end a 2-game losing skid. Bill Belichick and the New England Patriots heading to their 8th Super Bowl since 2001 after barely surviving Jacksonville 24-20. But the Eagles cruised to a win over the Vikings 38-7 in the NFC title game. The Eagles and Patriots headed to Minnesota for Super Bowl 52. The news, a service of Staples, with low prices on the office items you use most, like paper now. Get a 10-ream case of printer paper for just $24.99. Saving money equals savings in the bottom line. Offer in-store only on SKU number 513096. Ends 127. Staples, it's pro time. 7:04. And we'll have a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Sean Hannity has a plan to start immigration reform.
My answer to all of this is if you build the wall expeditiously, fund it fully, get it moving, then you can talk about any other topic you want to talk about. But I'm not buying that it's going to happen down the road. Now, the president has been reiterating over and over again that we need this border wall.
The Sean Hannity Show. Afternoons at 2, right before Joe Walsh at 5 on AM 560. The Answer.
On AM 560, The Answer, we talk about the important issues that affect your world. Things like the economy, education, and foreign policy. There's always so much going on in the news that we don't always have the time to focus in and talk about the big ideas behind the important issues. Enter Upstream Ideas online at upstream-ideas.com. Upstream Ideas, in partnership with the Illinois Opportunity Project, provides the kind of information that informs the policy discussions happening here on AM 560. At Upstream Ideas, you'll broaden the debate, move beyond partisan assumptions, and challenge accepted beliefs. Upstream Ideas goes against the current and thinks upstream. Go online now at upstream-ideas.com. That's upstream-ideas.com. You'll be armed with new information and fresh perspectives to help encourage you to make the state of Illinois and the United States of America a bit freer, a bit more just, and a bit more civilized. Upstream-ideas.com.
For many businesses, hiring is tough. You want access to highly qualified candidates fast. And you don't want to sign a long-term contract or pay upfront fees. That's why you need Indeed.com, delivering 6 times more hires than any other job site, according to independent research. Indeed is offering new users a $50 credit to give their first job post premium visibility as a sponsored job. Redeem this offer at Indeed.com/credit. That's Indeed.com/credit. Terms, conditions, and quality standards apply.
What happened? You used to go hours without visiting the bathroom. Now it seems like you're constantly getting up to pee. Listen, the makers of Super Beta Prostate are introducing a new wonder pill, Super Beta Prostate P3 Advanced, with 3 key ingredients that are great for your prostate. To celebrate, your first 30-day supply is free. Pay shipping and handling. Get P3 Advanced free. Call 1-800-215-9360. 1-800-215-9360. 1-800-215-9360.
7:06. A check of the roads this morning in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here is Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. The inbound Eden's heavy. Dempster to the junction, 35 minutes. Lake Coast to Montrose, outbound 25. Kennedy, 46 minutes. O'Hare to downtown, 16 from Montrose, 15 of the Express. Outbound, 55 minutes to the airport. We have delays on 190 in both directions at O'Hare. Eisenhower's now an hour and 5 minutes, 390 to downtown, 50 minutes from Manheim, outbound 50 to 390. Stevenson, an hour and 10 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 38 minutes. Ryan, 30 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, 35 minutes, I-80 to the merge, Bishop Ford, 55. Southbound Tri-States, the 120 to 176. Northbound, 115th to 31st, and Roosevelt to the Bensonville Bridge. But Adams Tollway bottled up 47 past Powers with a crash in the right lane. Reagan Tollway, still Farnsworth to 59, 53 to 355 at Midwest to the Eisenhower. Veterans Memorial, Fountain Toll to the Reagan Tollway, and Army Trail to 290. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast with our meteorologist, Kevin Snyder.
Cloudy with fog this morning, periods of rain and a thunderstorm throughout the day, high 55. Tonight, cloudy with a couple of showers during the evening, followed by periods of snow and rain late at night, accumulating a coating to an inch, low 32. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
Currently 48 at O'Hare, but only 41 along the lakefront. Your next news update is at 7:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by the Alpha Wealth Group, bringing the trilogy of estate, tax, and investment planning together. Visit alphawealthgroup.com for a free report.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. On every other network and every other station, you'll hear Scarlett Johansson's nitwittery and all of the other P-hat prevaricators. Their voices will be amplified. And before there was the P-hat, there was the penumbra. Today is the 45th anniversary of the worst Supreme Court decision since Dred Scott. Of course, Roe v. Wade. That's my opinion, and that opinion happens to be correct. So it has the utility of being correct. So here, we're going to make sure you hear from some of the participants in the March for Life whose voices weren't amplified by the D.C. press corps. Say, for example, the House Speaker, Paul Ryan.
I didn't. What march? Honestly, I've been glued to cable news all weekend and to local news. Did not see one clip or one mention of it anywhere.
Right. And it's because of the Alinsky tactic to make the majority feel like their opinions are those of the minority. In point of fact, what you hear from Paul Ryan is the majority position in America. Majority position. Mayor's poll, 56% of Americans believe abortion is morally wrong. 76% want substantial restrictions on abortion. and consistent with the science that we now no longer have to guess about. For example, the formation of a child at 20 weeks, thus all the bans after 20 weeks, and radically conservative countries like France. Paul Ryan on the power of the pro-life movement, its compassion.
And one thing that gets sort of lost in this controversy is just how compassionate the pro-life movement really is. This is what is lost by all those detractors out there. I am so proud of the work that this movement has done to help women, especially women who have gone through the pain of abortion. This movement helps them find healing and acceptance. I'm so proud of this movement and how it supports single mothers who are struggling to raise their children, how it gives them the resources through thousands of phenomenal crisis pregnancy centers around the country. This is the face of the pro-life movement.
Yeah, abortion hurts women. Pro-life movement helps women. It's kind of a hospital for women who are in need, suffering, if you will, confused, metaphorically, of course. As Reagan said, the only people I've ever met who are for abortion are alive. It's interesting to note, isn't it?
Well, even at our church, Pastor Bonnie celebrated a 16-year-old girl who decided to have the baby. And she said nobody celebrated. She didn't know how to feel at the time because it wasn't, people encouraged her to get an abortion, and she kept the baby. And I thought,
yeah.
I wish Dan was with me.
Now, the flip side is the Illinois congressional delegation, Republican delegation, chastised Governor Rauner for signing HB 40, the public financing of abortion all 9 months. The first governor in U.S. history to do that. Fringe candidate, that's the governor. Governor Rauner is the fringe candidate in Illinois. Something Pat Quinn wouldn't even do with supermajorities of Democrats. Didn't do. That's how extreme Governor Rauner is. It's an untenable position. It's a disqualifying position. It's a disqualifying act, I should say. And by the way, you want to understand how policy has consequences?
Yeah.
Planned Parenthood is opening a clinic in Flossmoor and 4 other clinics around the state of Illinois.
It's because of all the money they've got from fundraisers.
No. It's a direct result of HB 40.
It is?
Direct result of HB 40. Nationally, abortion clinics are being reduced in number. Mm-hmm. Illinois, they're increasing. Near the Indiana border, right?
Right.
Bring people in from Indiana. Also, heavy minority communities.
Right.
The racism that underlies, the eugenicists who support abortion on demand. 5 more clinics, including in Flossmoor, as a result of Rauner's decision. So even if you are not unconcerned about the underlying life and death issue, which you should not be unconcerned, how about the financial issue of another open-ended entitlement in a state with $10 billion in unpaid bills? For more on this topic and others inside the Beltway, we're pleased to be joined by Congressman Peter Roskam. Peter, thanks for joining us again. Appreciate it.
Dan and Amy, good to be with you. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you. So were you at the March for Life?
I was at the March for Life, and then your discussion prompted a memory for me of a March for Life that I'd like to just share with you quickly. A few years ago, I was at the one downtown Chicago, and I was one of the speakers, and I got there a little bit early before their marchers got there. And I was looking, and I wasn't quite sure I was at the right place. And I looked over, and there were some really angry abortion protesters, on the other side. And they were angry, and they were scattered. And it was quite pathetic, actually, to look at them. And then came the pro-life marchers, sort of around the corner and down the street. And they were buoyant, they were joyful, they were young, the music was great, they were dancing, they had yellow balloons and flags, and the contrast just took my breath away. And I thought, there is no bigger picture in terms of distinction about what it is that this movement is all about than those who are standing for those who have no voice. And it was an image that really had a profound impact on me. And I think that we need to remember the power of that, the power of truth, and the power of speaking out, and the power of clarity. And my predecessor, Henry Hyde, was the great hero of the pro-life movement, and just an image that is with me to this day.
Well, that's a real life and death issue. An issue that's being portrayed as life and death is the government shutdown, in quotation marks. And I wonder, Peter, if you are concerned, as per discussion on CNN.
About the Panda Cam?
No, that's a concern. There's no question. But this is even more existential, the threat. That because of the shutdown, NASA may stop monitoring potentially dangerous asteroids. We may have an undetected asteroid attack destroy the planet if the Senate doesn't, vote to bring this to an end at noon today. You feel the sense of urgency?
I think the reason you want the government open is, number one, they're there to do a job. Number two, they're likely to get paid anyways, and so the notion of giving people furloughs and then giving them back pay doesn't make any sense to me at all. But that said, I think the Democrats have really gotten themselves stuck, and they decided, from a political point of view, hey, we want to shut this down. We want to create an impression that we don't have any influence and this is all on the GOP. And I think Chuck Schumer has really led them into a cul-de-sac. They want to create this linkage on immigration. We're saying, look, we're not going to negotiate on immigration while the government is shut down. You want to have a discussion about immigration in the regular course of things, fine. But the immigration deadline for DACA, it's not today. It's not this month. It's not next month. It happens in March. There's still plenty of time to deal with it.
How are Paul Ryan and Mitch McConnell getting along these days?
As far as I know, they're getting along fine. The people to watch are, the people to watch, I think, are Senate Democrats who are in states that Trump won. So people like Joe Donnelly from Indiana, or people like Heidi Heitkamp from North Dakota. These are people who have voted to keep the government open in the Senate, and I think they're going to be under increasing pressure to influence their leadership, because their leadership cannot really articulate beyond this immigration issue. They can't articulate why they want to shut the government down. So I think Schumer is getting more and more isolated procedurally, and we'll see what the day brings.
This story out over the weekend about the FBI failing to preserve 5 months' worth of text messages exchanged between those lovebirds, Peter Strzok and Lisa Page, these particularly Strzok, senior-level FBI official involved in both the Clinton and the Trump-Russian collusion investigation, sort of conflicted, one would argue. Now, is Platte River Networks the vendor to the FBI the way it was the Hillary Clinton campaign? Or how do we explain, I know it's been explained as a technical glitch, but are we to buy that text messages from those two individuals, given how central they are to our entire assessment of the fairness of the FBI's look into the Trump campaign and the Trump administration? How are we to understand this?
Look, you're to understand it as echoes from the IRS, echoes from the Benghazi investigation. And the burden is on the entity that can't hold on to, or is charged with having the evidence, charged with the records, and it's their burden to say, why is it that they've left? Look, it's highly suspicious, it's highly suspect, and this continues to undermine the nature and the integrity of some of these investigations.
Yeah, but do you think the FBI will be held accountable? I mean, how can the FBI lose data like this for a 5-month period? It's just mind-boggling.
Yeah, so the accountability comes in a couple of forms. The accountability comes in terms of public reputation, which is diminishing, and the accountability comes in individuals who end up moving on and moving out. And then the accountability comes in what is it that the FBI actually presents to the American people as it relates to their findings in their investigation.
And could the accountability also come in the release of this 4-page memo that's being bandied about on the Hill, and people are talking about and making some pretty aggressive predictions about the potential impact of this memo were the public to see it?
I think that the memo, I've reviewed the memo. I signed all kinds of things before I reviewed the memo in terms of non-disclosure.
All right, so
I can't
tell us
talk
what's
about
in
the
it.
memo per se,
Yeah.
but I am of the strong opinion that the memo should be released.
Okay.
Well, what's in it? Do you know? Have you? I mean,
I know you
hello,
can't.
Peter.
I know you can't disclose it, so just tell us what's in it.
Yeah, you're killing me.
No, wait.
So
the
does that
memo
mean no?
The memo should be released.
Can
the
you?
memo should be released.
Can you characterize it generally as some other members of Congress have? Is it as explosive as some of your colleagues have described?
Look, no, I wouldn't. I think that there's I've been around. We've seen these types of things where an expectation that gets created that's just through the roof. I wouldn't do that. I would just say, look, the memo speaks for itself. The memo needs to be released, and it puts some of this larger debate into a context that is helpful and insightful. That's why I think it should be released.
Do you think maybe House Republicans can use the same Columbia professor cutout that Comey used to release the stuff he wanted to get out there?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, look, my view is if make sure, triple check it to make sure that no sources are revealed, no methods are revealed. The things that the conclusions that are easy to come to after reading this memo should be part of the public discussion. No question about it.
All right, he is Congressman
Ultimate
Peter
tease.
Roskam. Yeah, well, he wants to stay on the side of the bars. That's understandable. Congressman Peter Roskam, representative from Illinois 6th out there in the Western Burbs. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
You've made the switch, and it feels so good. You've switched to Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
And a little bit of breaking news. The panda cam is still on, and I have to tell you, this is very soothing. I'm watching a panda named Bei Bei, or maybe it's Mei Bling Zing Ping. He have some scarfed down some bamboo this morning. So the panda cam's up and running. So this is
Good.
all just more fake news from CNN.
All right, so that means
That's two stories. They told me that the military were not going to be able to watch the NFL playoff games, which was a lie. And then they said the panda cam was down. And it's not down. It's up and running.
so let that be a warning shot for you panda poachers out there. They're watching.
It's really cute. Forecast for today is not cute. It's nasty. It's messy. We've got everything. We had lightning and thunder this morning. Rain on and off throughout the day. Can you imagine if this was snow? We'd have 2 feet of it. A high today of 54 degrees. Then tonight, the rain does turn into snow. A low of 32 degrees. And tomorrow morning, snow showers on your way to work, anywhere from a dusting to an inch. Colder, a high of 33 degrees. Let's get into the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim Telemonte.
Thanks, Amy Danner. Traffic cameras are working fine. Metro trains, not so much. Got more mechanical problems this morning. There's a train broken down on the BNSF line at Westmont, so expect delays. The Edens is jammed, 280 to the junction. 40 minutes, Lake Cook to Montrose, outbound 30. Kennedy, 55 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. Outbound, it's an hour, just 28 minutes to Montrose. The Eisenhower, an hour and 5 minutes, 390 to downtown. Outbound, 50 minutes. Stevenson, an hour and 15 minutes, 355 to the drive. Outbound, 40 minutes. Ryan, 30 minutes, 95th to downtown. Bishop Ford, an hour and 5 minutes from 8094 to the merge. Southbound Tri-State slow, past 132 to past Bradley. And from the Lake Forest Oasis to Duffy, also heavy approach to the Bensonville Bridge. Northbound delays 115th, 31st, and Roosevelt to the Bensonville Bridge. The other tollways have delays as well. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Congratulations and thank you to helping us reach our goal this year for Food for the Poor. We set out to feed 3,000 children and their families. We are going to be feeding 3,200 families and children and families because of your generous donations. Food for a year, clean water for life. So thank you so much. And we especially are grateful to the many business benefactors who supported this campaign. When you hear their ads on the station, we'd ask that you support their business as a way of thanking them for their generosity. And just because the Christmas season is over, the need does not go away. You can still make a $50 donation to Food for the Poor. Call 847-862-4073. And thanks again for your help.
Folks, when shopping for a home mortgage, how much is great service, low closing costs, and competitive interest rates worth to you? At Townstone Financial, it's priceless. Hi, Barry Sterner, founder of Townstone Financial. Let's hear about the Townstone experience from one of our customers.
You know, I had a home equity line of credit that I took out years ago for kids' college expenses. Over the past 5 or 6 years, I lamented about refinancing this, but Townstone just made it very, very simple. Within 30 days after I first called, talked to Ira, I closed on a new fixed-rate mortgage with a much lower interest rate, and also was able to take out additional cash from the equity to pay off some of the wife's high-interest credit cards. Hopefully she's not listening. The whole process was stress-free and almost effortless.
Remember, nobody values your home mortgage business more than Townstone. I guarantee it, and I own the company. So call me now, Barry Sterner, at 312-896-2110. That's 312-896-2110. Or go to townstone.com. That's TOWNSTONE.com.
Townstone Financials, Indiana, Michigan, Wisconsin, Florida, Illinois, mortgage licensee 6629 and NMLS 136639. Equal housing lender.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I'm Mark Gastineau. I played in the NFL for 10 years. I was diagnosed with CTE, with dementia, Alzheimer's, and Parkinson's. The fruits and vegetables that we take from Balance of Nature is the best thing that we could ever do. And I'm calling in now to order extra because my wife has been taking mine because she sees a difference in me. It is a wonderful thing that Balance of Nature is doing. I hear the testimonies on the radio, but I'm a testimony for myself. And the fruits and vegetables, if I don't take them every single day, my day is not going to go the same. So God bless you, and thank you for what you've done for my wife and I.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first month's order and ship it to you free. Call 800-246-8751 or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
Message and data rates may apply.
Guys, this may be the last time you ever have to think about hair loss, because I'm telling you, Bosley is the real deal. They're giving men their hair back permanently. Their real hair. All it takes to get started on the hair gain train is a single text message. We'll send you a link with direct access to a special website that unlocks an incredible offer. An absolutely free information kit and a free gift card. Simply text STRONG to 85850. Bosley will show you for free how great your hair could look. Dude, this isn't your dad's hair loss treatment. People all over the country trust Bosley because they're America's #1 hair restoration expert, ahead of the curve with the latest technology. And the best part, Bosley's solution is permanent. Drop what you're doing, get direct access to a special site for your free information kit and gift card for $250 off by texting STRONG to 85850. That's STRONG to 85850.
True story. So I urged one of my family members to call CertaPro Painters. He didn't do it, and that painting crew had to come back 3 times to fix their awful, sloppy mistakes, even paint on the floor, if you can believe it. Well, with CertaPro Painters, you get the best in the business. The attention to detail, color selection is truly unmatched. And now is the perfect time to get the interior of your home or business painted. The lower humidity provides an ideal environment for great coverage and quick drying times. They use fine quality paints with 0 or low VOCs, very little to no odor during application. Be an early bird and cross the first item off your 2018 to-do list. It's also the perfect time to spruce up your commercial property. Remember, each CertaPro Painter's business is independently owned and operated, so schedule your free estimate online at CertaPro.com or call 1-800-GO-CERTA. That's CERTA with the C. CertaPro Painters, we do painting, you do life.
AM 560, The Answer.
A nice little Monday plan. David Hochberg wants to take you to a Blackhawks game.
Oh, well,
yeah,
that's
nice.
lovely, David Hochberg. Generous soul, that David Hochberg.
Yes, he is.
Tim Tebow's mom spoke at the March for Life over the weekend, playing smatterings of offerings for the March for Life since nobody else will cover it. We will. Tim Tebow, if you didn't know, was a difficult pregnancy for his mom, and she explained, providing testimony.
From the beginning, it was a difficult pregnancy, profuse bleeding and cramping. We kept thinking that we lost Timmy so many times. The best doctor in town did some tests. She determined that Timmy was a mass of fetal tissue, a tumor, and I needed to abort and abort immediately or I would die. But if I had died in childbirth, God would still be God, wouldn't he? But because of our love for the life in the womb, we chose to trust God and refuse to have an abortion.
And her husband, who was over, Tebow's dad, was over in the Philippines, flew out to the Philippines where a pro-life OBGYN took care of her, and this is what happened.
And suddenly the bleeding stopped. My husband flew me to Manila, and a wonderful American-trained pro-life doctor saved my life and the life of our son. And when Timmy entered the world, he said, "This is a miracle baby." He said, "I've never witnessed such a miracle because only a tiny piece of the placenta was intact." He was somewhat malnourished, though, so he asked all of our family and our friends in the States to pray that he would grow big and strong. And if you've seen him lately, you'll know God answered those prayers. And we're so grateful.
The humility of the life position, the arrogance of the position that believes one can determine who should live and who should die. On display over the weekend, the contrast between the P-hats and the pro-lifers.
And it's so sad that the pro-lifers got little coverage. But not here. This station, they're getting full coverage. Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Thanks to the government shutdown, I have the script for Will Smith's next summer blockbuster at 7:37.
But first, let's go into the newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
Amy and Dan, good morning. 45 degrees, and Afghan officials say at least 18, including 14 foreign nationals, were killed by gunmen during a standoff that finally came to an end Sunday at the Intercontinental Hotel in Kabul. That attack came shortly after the U.S. State Department issued a security alert for hotels in Kabul. The Senate scheduled to take another run at ending the government shutdown today. The chairman of the House Conservative Freedom Caucus says a deal on DACA could be made.
There's a deal that can be made, but we have to open the government first.
North Carolina Republican Congressman Mark Meadows on ABC's This Week. Police in Florida looking for someone seen running away from a mall where 2 pipe bombs exploded Sunday evening. No injuries in the blast at the Eagle Ridge Mall in Lake Wales near Tampa. Amazon Go opens to the public today. The cashierless convenience store features multiple cameras and sensors that can scan what you pick up off the shelf, and they'd charge everything to your account when you walk out. Heavy fog causing travel issues here in Chicago, and heavy rain is also falling. 2 were killed in a fire early this morning in Addison. Crews responded around 2:30 this morning to a report from a bystander of a fire in the 700 block of South Ellsworth. A teen remains hospitalized following a deadly fire over the weekend in Gary, Indiana. 2 older victims died. The teen remains hospitalized at Loyola University Medical Center in Maywood. Chicago police are investigating a double homicide on the Northwest Side. Both victims died after the shooting near Belden and Austin. Bulls take on the Pelicans tonight. Blackhawks and Lightning meet at the United Center, and your Super Bowl matchup is New England and Philadelphia. The news service of Pringles. When you stack up different flavors of Pringles, you create amazing new flavors. Stack up cheddar cheese, jalapeno, and French onion dip Pringles, and you've got yourself a 3-layered dip stack, which makes you a genius. Stack different flavors, create endless new ones with Pringles. 7:34 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Papa Nicholas Coffee. Papa Nicholas, best beans, best roast, best coffee.
If you're missing teeth or even a single tooth, dental implants are a fantastic way to regain your confidence, your smile, your dental health. Hi, it's Mike Gallagher. You hear a lot of people screaming at you about dental implants. Get it done in a day, or we can treat everybody, or hundreds of thousands of implants. Look, successful implants don't come from an implant factory. What you don't hear talked about is skill, treatment, and installation. These are what make for successful lifelong implants, and that's why you need to see Dr. Noruzzi at Fox River Periodontics. Dr. Noruzzi is the recommended choice of dentists that don't do implants. You need the experience, skill, and honesty that 24 years of dental implants brings.
This is Dr. Neruzzi.
I personally guarantee your happiness with your implants.
Call Fox River Periodontics, 630-232-7400, 630-232-7400, or just remember, implantsforme.com, implantsforme.com.
My name is David Hochberg, Vice President Lending at Pearl Mortgage. If you're looking to secure financing on a new home or refinance your existing home, give me a call. According to creditcard.com, cardholders in Illinois, Indiana, Wisconsin, and Michigan are carrying over $33,000 of debt on their credit cards. The Federal Reserve recently increased the interest rates a quarter of a point, which, according to credit enhancement expert Gary Novell, will increase the average credit card holder's interest payments $825 a year. The good news is home values have rebounded, so now is an excellent time to use your home's equity to eliminate your stress, pay off credit card debt, and lower your monthly payments. To see if you can use your home's equity to pay off your debt, give me a call now at 312-751-1333 or visit am560david.com. I've helped thousands of AM560 listeners, but I can't help if you don't call 312-751-1333 or visit am560david.com. Pearl Mortgage, an equal housing lender, Illinois Residential Mortgage Licensee 4358 and MLS 19186.
736. Let's get an update on the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim Telemonti.
Thanks, Mike. The Edens is jammed inbound 2 to the junction. 40 minutes Lakehook to Montrose, outbound 31. Kennedy, 55 minutes. O'Hare to downtown, outbound an hour. Between Chicago's two airports, there are 100 cancellations now, plus many more delays. The Eisenhower's an hour and 20 minutes. 390 to downtown, outbound 55 minutes. Stevenson, an hour 15. 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 40 minutes. Ryan, 30 minutes, 95th to downtown. Bishop Ford, an hour and 5 minutes, 8094 to the merge. Tri-state delays, southbound 132 to pass Bradley. And from the Lake Forest to West Duffy, northbound 115th to 31st and Roosevelt to Bensonville Bridge. Eastbound Adams Tollway heavy 47 to pass Powers after a crash. Veterans Memorial. Delays are from I-55 most of the way to St. Charles and North Avenue to Lake Street. Traffic at the service of Staples. Staples has low prices on the office items you use most. Paper. Now get a 10-ream case of printer paper, just $24.99. Saving money equals savings in the bottom line. Offer in-store only on SKU number 513096. Ends 127. Staples. It's pro time. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560. The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. Cloudy, rain, maybe a thunderstorm crossing the area. Morning fog persisting, high 54. This evening will really chill off a bit, low 32 with rain turning to snow. 48 at O'Hare, but only 41 along the lakefront. Your next news update is at 8. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Advanced Planning Advisors, bringing you Smart Money Talk with Mike Moylan and Rob Curvin, Saturday mornings at 6.
If you're talking about it, I'll be talking about it. Dennis Prager here. Join me this morning at 11, right here on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. So we're finding out at present if indeed the federal government is the glue holding Western civilization together. Because that's what you'd believe if you listen to the D.C. press corps. I mean, it's the big government press corps, so of course they're in the tank. But over the weekend, talking about the so-called government shutdown where 80% plus of the government is on autopilot and the workers that are on furlough will get back pay for work not performed. And you know, it's kind of a yawner, generally speaking.
Well, I feel lied to. They told me about the PandaCam, that would be shut down. It's not shut down. That the CDC would stop tracking the flu virus. I don't know if that's true.
Well, the PandaCam thing, too. And I remember DNI, Director of National Intelligence, Jim Clapper, saying, clap on, clap off, clap on, clap off, Jim Clapper, that that they were not collecting metadata on pandas. And so that was a lie.
Wait, shh. We're going live to PandaCam right now. There's Xi Jinping eating the bamboo. Honestly, I'm starting to have an. It's a panda.
Doesn't somebody over there have a club?
Oh, that is so mean. Oh, I want to go hug the baby.
Stop your whining. You sound like a member of Congress. A panda. I don't like the big brother though on the panda. Let the panda be free. Let the panda have his privacy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, Panda's doing
like
something
the Edward
naughty
Snowden
right now.
for pandas.
Oh, now, the Panda's so cute. He's walking around. All right, I got to stop.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm such a chick right now.
Yeah.
What's wrong with
Go
me?
visit
I
the
gotta man
National
up.
Zoo on your own time. But there's this other potential risk of the government shutdown. Referenced it with Peter Roskam. This from a riveting exchange between Jake Tapper and reporter Tom Foreman about the implications of the government shutdown. In space, same year, for more than 2 weeks, NASA reportedly stopped monitoring potential dangerous asteroids. This is talking about the 2013 shutdown. Tom Foreman adding, a big one, by the way, a big asteroid, is expected to brush by the Earth on February 4th of this year. In 2 weeks, we could have an asteroid attack. Well, asteroid strike. I mean, they don't really attack. Asteroid strike that decimates the planet and will be undetected because NASA has stopped monitoring killer asteroids because of the stinginess of Republicans. That's the essential implication. So here, I wrote up this little treatment, just kind of stream of consciousness.
Yes.
I want to run it by you.
All right.
You know a lot of people in Hollywood and so forth. Maybe
been
you could
around.
maybe you could run this treatment by somebody, see if I can get Will Smith to buy in, and I can stop getting up at 3 a.m. So here's the you get the asteroid attack piece of it, right?
All right.
All right. So here's my summer blockbuster, Will Smith blockbuster idea. Will Smith plays Sitting Bear Jabbar, a Native American Muslim revenue agent for the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. All right, you got that?
Yeah,
That's Will
I got
Smith's
that.
character. He gets word from CNN's Don Lemon, played by RuPaul, that while Lemon was looking in black holes for MH370, Lemon discovers the asteroid is headed right at us, but no one knows because the government is shut down, just like the monitoring stopped just like 4 years ago. All right, so then Jabbar teams up with femme fatale Lois Lerner over at IRS, played by Ashley Judd, to break into thank you. To break into Jamie Dimon's accounts at J.P. Morgan Chase. J.P. Dimon played by Frank Langella, so they can get NOAA scientist Bill Nye, played by Bill Nye, the back pay he needs from his furlough to get back on the job. All right, they are able to pull this together just in time to employ NOAA's, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Association's administration, I should say, is climate change models to identify the precise location of the asteroid hurtling towards the planet. Okay, so you with me so far?
I'm with
All right. Facing imminent annihilation, Jabbar enlists Elon Musk, played by Cillian Murphy, to fire Chelsea Manning, played by Caitlyn Jenner, who heroically volunteered for the mission as a sacrifice for the greater good, of course. Fire Chelsea Manning through a series of pneumatic tubes at a rate of speed sufficient to destroy the asteroid on impact and save the planet, thus proving once again that the U.S. federal government is the only thing protecting us from the destruction of the planet and is therefore worthy of the blank check on money and power it demands. All right. The movie closes.
Oh, yeah, we're not done.
Well, I mean, you got to
we're
wrap
not
this
done
up, right? The movie closes with the Washington Monument being renamed for Chelsea Manning. They keep the phallic obelisk, but they put a pea hat on top of it. And then Jabbar and Lerner reflect on the whole ordeal, wherein Jabbar remarks that saving America from external threats is the easy part. It's the internal ones that I worry about. And then the camera the screen,
Fade to black?
the screen cuts to a couple in Oregon making a wedding cake. And then credits roll. So you got
I
the
just
setup.
got the chills.
So you got the
I
setup for a
mean,
sequel.
This is brilliant.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Do you think I could
made-
sell this?
yeah.
You think I could get Ari Emanuel to represent me?
Yeah. You get a producer.
All right. Well, good. Thank you for the encouragement.
That was good.
It's my little side hustle. Chuck in Delavan, Wisconsin.
Back when Obama was in office, they discovered the Hale-Bopp comet. And we have three big telescopes, one in California, one in Dallas, and one in Puerto Rico. And them guys never seen the Hale-Bopp comet, but two hillbillies out in the middle of nowhere found it with a $30 telescope. So them, what you're talking about right now, where you said that the government's going to see these things, back when they were running, when the government was running, they didn't see it. And at that point in time, Obama should have said, hey, you Hale-Bopp guys, you're in charge of these big telescopes right now, you and all your pocket calculator guys. But he didn't do that. So this is all hogwash. Thank you very much.
Thanks for the call, Chuck. Well, the problem with that, the reason they missed them is because we're underfunding NASA and the asteroid monitoring teams.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Needs to be bigger. Tom in Schaumburg.
About DACA. The Democrats want DACA protection for an unknown number of people that we know nothing about. They also want DACA protection for an unlimited number of people who are related through chain migration, and we know nothing about them. You know, this would make the wall absolutely useless. People wouldn't have to climb over the wall or jump under the wall or dig under the wall. They just have to go up to the gate of the wall, knock on the gate, and say, hey, yeah, I'm related to people here, and they'd be welcomed in. In fact, tell them, no, you can't come in. That would be racist. So this is insane, absolutely insane. This should be all about security, and unless we know who these people are, we can't let them in. We can't give them DACA protection. We can't even give DACA protection to people that are here unless they're investigated, like I was when I had to do some of my work at the airport. I had to go in, fill out an application under penalty of perjury. I had to have my photograph taken. I had to have my fingerprints taken. I had to be investigated by the city police, the state police, the FBI, and the newly formed Department of Homeland Security to prove that my background was good and that I wasn't a criminal, so I could even go on a damn airport. We had members of our union that lost their jobs because they worked at rail yards, and long before they got the job, some of these guys were on the job 19 years. They were fired immediately after Homeland Security was formed because they had been convicted of a very, very minor felony years before they even got the job. They lost their jobs because of security reasons. And we're supposed to have no security in giving all this protection to all these people. This would make the wall a joke, and this would make our country a joke. They can't do it.
All right, thanks for the call.
Well, that's what. Yeah, Chuck Schumer's last offer was, I'll give President Trump the border security that he needs, the funding for border security and to build a wall, but in exchange he wants amnesty for DACAs.
I'm not seeing a Hollywood script there. Maybe like some kind of World War Z spinoff.
All right.
Mark in Plainfield.
Well, I'm not sure if this is a Hollywood script, but it is a script of a movie. It's probably Besting. Don't let us know the asteroid.
Hey, Mark, I can barely hear it. Mark, you have to talk into the other side of the phone where we can hear you. Mark?
Uh-oh, now look what
See?
you've done.
Well, I couldn't hear him. What was the point? I still can't hear him.
Mark, are you okay?
No, I can't hear him worse.
Do you think he's all right?
I don't know. Maybe.
Do you think he fall down and go boom?
Maybe I hurt his feelings.
Yeah.
All right. Well, so that's the one takeaway from the possible extension of this so-called shutdown that you could.
There's no shutdown. My IRS customer service is shut down. Many government research operations and most federal office buildings. But you're still going to get your mail. You're still going to get your Social Security checks. The airports are open. Local parks, schools, libraries, airports. If you want to go see the Statue of Liberty, the state of New York is paying for that because normally federal funds go to that.
Ralph and Rantoul, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Yeah, good morning. Just wondering with the government shutdown and traveling felons like the union people, does this mean that the people in government protection, the witness protection program, don't have makeup and disguises this morning? That it's possible that they're walking around unmasked?
Yeah.
It's a concern. Some it could affect
legitimate.
negatively, but I think mobsters.
We lost Ralph now. Holy cow! Ralph and Mark are sharing a phone.
One thing that is shut down though that might be of concern is passport office. I know a lot of people have to renew their passports, and just know that they're not open today.
Yeah. May have to reschedule the camping trip. I mean, there's some legitimate things like healthcare and military bases, for example. Yeah. You may have doctor's appointments canceled. With respect to veterans, the TRICARE is separate and distinct, so that shouldn't be an issue. You may have some delay in payment or full payment for services performed by members of the military, for example. And this is what Martha McSally was pointing up when she was telling them to stop Richarding around and get to it. Let's get this done, and then we can talk about immigration policy. But Mark and Joliet, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hey, good morning, Dan and Amy. What I want to know most is with this government shutdown, if Barack Hussein is going to run in front of the World War II memorial like he did in 2013 and tell me, no, I can't see it.
Yeah, right. Yeah, thanks for the call, Mark. Exactly. And that didn't stop those World War II vets who were there from seeing it, did it?
Nope, they moved the gates.
Yeah, if they can navigate Omaha Beach, they can navigate a little fence before the World War II memorial.
Hear about the big stories of the day, then talk about them right here on Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
SAG Awards. You watch the SAG Awards last night? Morgan Freeman said there should be that all the awards should be gender neutral.
Finally, I've been saying that for a decade.
I know. First, here's your forecast. Today it's going to be cloudy, as you know, but rain, showers, thunderstorms, fog. We've got it all, but we do have warm temperatures, a high of 54 degrees. Tonight, that rain is going to turn into snow, and then tomorrow morning when you wake up, you're going to have a dusting to an inch of snow, depending on where you live. Will be breezy tomorrow and much colder, a high of 33 degrees. Any spinouts on the roadways? Let's go to Jim Telemonte, who is in charge of our Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Hey, Dan, good morning. Yeah, we got spinouts, we got power outages, we got signal problems, we got train delays on the BNSF line and the CTA Pink lines, mechanical issues, and then there are the expressways. Kennedy, delays pretty much all the way in from O'Hare. It's 55 minutes O'Hare to downtown, 30 minutes from Montrose, 28 in the Express. Outbound an hour to the airport. Edens, 30 minutes, Lake Cook Junction, outbound 35. The Eisenhower's an hour and 25 minutes. Fog and rain, 390 to downtown. An hour and 5 minutes from Manheim, outbound an hour 5 to 390. Stevenson, an hour 15, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 52 minutes. Ryan, 30 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57 is 35 minutes. I-80 to the merge. Bishop Ford is an hour and 5 minutes. Delays on the Tri-State southbound 132 to pass Bradley and Lake Forest Oasis to Duffy and approaching the Bensonville Bridge. Northbound 115th to 31st and Roosevelt to that bridge. Reagan Tollway delays 25 to 59, 53 to 355, and Midwest to the Eisenhower. Their tollways are heavy too, and there are delays on 53 in both directions. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Upstream-ideas.com, premium content that complements what we do each morning on this show. Podcast for our Illinois Rising program covering state policy and politics. Our long-form interview series with policymakers and opinion leaders. That's Against the Current. 2-minute warnings from Pat Hughes, Illinois Opportunity Project. My 60 seconds of sanity commentaries this week on the March for Life and the rule of law. And then don't forget our sister site, defendhomeowners.com, defendhomeowners.com. Free property tax report on your home. See how the highest property taxes in the nation are impacting your home value negatively. And also what you can do about it. One of the things, download a petition to help us get the necessary signatures to get an advisory question on the 2018 ballot that would change the way we do property taxes in Illinois to mirror Indiana's methodology. It would return your home equity and home value by extension to you. All the property tax info, defendhomeowners.com. Everything else, upstream-ideas.com.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
My blood pressure significantly is so low now compared to what it was. I think I'm doing great with it.
That's one thing I like about Balance of Nature. Y'all listen, you talk and communicate, and not just give us your order. We're done. Bye. You know, it to me it makes more. I want to say kind of a family-oriented business. That we're out here for you, and we're part of your extended family, trying to fill you in, rather than just take your money.
I feel great. A lot of the aches and pains I have the arthritis in my hand seems to have dissipated most of the time, and I feel wonderful.
Have the confidence that you're giving your body what it needs. Call now to receive 35% off your first Balance of Nature order. Call 1-800-2468-751 or go online to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code CHICAGO.
The results are in. A survey of Inc. 5000 companies shows the top barriers to growth.
It's taking finance too long to close the books.
So slow to launch new products. We need to hire good people and keep them.
Too many disconnected systems. I can't see what's happening in my business.
Sounds like they've outgrown their business and financial management systems. QuickBooks and spreadsheets worked fine at the start, but now it takes twice the effort to get things done, and you can't get accurate answers. You should know the #1 system for growing companies, NetSuite from Oracle. NetSuite is the one system that tracks and manages revenue, cash flow, HR, inventory, projects, even e-commerce for every industry. Now you can run your business from a dashboard on your phone. That's why thousands of companies use NetSuite. It's the only system you need to run your business. Go to netsuite.com/radio to get your free guide called Crushing the 5 Barriers to Growth. That's netsuite.com/radio.
Shoot Point Blank is Chicago's leading shooting range and firearms store. Featuring 20 climate-controlled shooting lanes, complete retail store, and firearm education classes for all experience levels. Whether you're a new or expert shooter, now you can experience the Shoot Point Blank difference and see for yourself why so many people are talking about Shoot Point Blank.
I can tell you, I was impressed as soon as I walked through the door. The employees were really helpful, very patient, and knowledgeable, too.
My wife and I had a wonderful experience. We felt very comfortable and informed.
Brett was very friendly and respectful, and he answered all my questions. Because I'm new to pistols, I'm grateful he was patient and helped me decide what to buy for my new firearm.
For a huge selection of new and used firearms, ammo, and state-of-the-art indoor shooting range, visit them in Hodgkins, Mokina, Naperville, or Merrillville. Or check out shootpointblank.com. Experience the difference. Shoot Point Blank.
The way you get your medicine prescriptions is now changing across America. GoGoMeds.com can deliver your medicine right to your door. Here's all you need to do. Your doctor gives you the prescription. You go online to GoGoMeds.com. Once you fill in your information, it's in the system. Your prescription is delivered. You've saved money. It's that easy. No more waiting, no lines, no copay each month, and best of all, no wandering around the pharmacy aimlessly waiting for your prescription to be filled. GoGoMeds.com, the new way you get your medicine delivered right to your door. Remember that getting your prescription filled now means never having to go to a pharmacy again. GoGoMeds.com. GoGoMeds.com. Get all your medicine prescriptions in the mail, lower prices, avoid copays at GoGoMeds.com. That's GoGoMeds.com. Do it now. GoGoMeds.com.
The war on depression is over.
You win.
Depression, with all the drugs and side effects, the endless counseling, the frustration with life and relationships.
The war is over. You win.
In a few short weeks, your life will change.
It's TMS therapy.
Over 1 million people have been treated, and the results are nothing short of outstanding. It's FDA cleared. It's covered by most insurance, including Blue Cross Blue Shield and Medicare.
Most drugs and other treatments just mask the depression.
TMS treats the cause, so you can win the war with your depression. Remission or cure.
Depression gone.
Get a free consultation at one of the HPR centers in Chicagoland and Wisconsin. Ask questions.
For you or someone you love, safe, revolutionary, effective treatment for depression.
Let depression recovery begin. HPR centers.
800-604-0208. 800-604-0208.
Go to endmydepression.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy memorializing our friend John Coleman today, friend of the show, of course, Chicago institution, local weather guy, and who became a real innovator. He was a co-founder of the Weather Channel, and also something we don't say too much about people in media, particularly kind of network affiliate media, courageous.
Yeah, he was a climate changer debunker and just said, you know, the facts have to lead you where the facts lead you, and there's no climate change. And people forget, though, too, he did work for Channel 5, and I loved this commercial. I remember when I was a kid.
My name is Scott Surjak. I'm in the 6th grade at Smizer Elementary School in Chicago. For my class science project, I watched TV weathermen and kept records for 15 days of their forecasts. What I have found out was that John Coleman made the most accurate predictions.
Thanks, Scott. I try my best.
It's John Coleman.
John Coleman and the Channel 5 News team. We give it to you straight.
And then Coleman took off his sport coat and threw it at the kid. Thanks, John.
He died at his home in Las Vegas at the age of 83.
Yeah, he was, and the courageous part of it too. The courageous part, willing to be a man of science and stand up against climate junk science. Important.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
The case against education from an economics PhD at 8:08.
And later, those dogs are wanted. We'll explain. But first, into the newsroom we go. Here's Mike Scott.
Dense fog and rain causing travel issues this morning. WIND Chicago News Time is 8 o'clock.
They keep blaming each other. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
Open the government, and then we'll get back to these negotiations we were already underway that they blew up when they shut the government down.
House Speaker Paul Ryan tells Fox Republicans do want a DACA fix, and they'll negotiate once the government shutdown ends. It's day 3. President Trump tweeted Democrats are turning down services and security for citizens in favor of services and security for non-citizens. Not good.
This is the Trump shutdown.
Democratic Senate Leader Chuck Schumer.
Only President Trump can end it. We Democrats are at the table, ready to negotiate.
Still pushing for protections for some immigrants brought to the U.S. illegally as kids. Republicans hope to end the stalemate with a Senate vote in about 3 hours, pushing short-term government funding through February 8th. Vice President Pence is in Israel, making news that won't make Palestinians any happier. Fox's Simon Owen monitoring live from London.
Dave, in a speech to Israel's parliament, the vice president putting a date on U.S. plans to move its embassy in Israel from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem.
And that United States embassy will open before the end of next year.
He received a standing ovation for that. This after President Trump announced plans for the embassy move last month, when he also said the U.S. would recognize Jerusalem as Israel's capital, even though it's also claimed by Palestinians. Some Arab-Israeli lawmakers were tossed out of the vice president's speech for heckling. Dave?
Simon, an apartment building caught fire just before midnight in New York City, leaving 32 people injured, some seriously. People in their pajamas were forced into the streets, watching firefighters battle the Brooklyn blaze. An Oscar contender has more momentum. 3 billboards outside Ebbing, Missouri, wins the Screen Actors Guild Awards top prize, Outstanding Cast.
My daughter Angela was murdered 7 months ago. It seems to me the police department is too busy torturing black folks to solve actual crime.
Frances McDormand also won Best Actress for TV. This Is Us and Big Little Lies are winners. Fox News, fair and balanced.
Rain showers and 46 degrees at 8:02 on AM 560. The Answer. Good morning, I'm Mike Scott. A dense fog advisory is up, but still heavy fog is causing travel issues in and around the city, and rain showers have also fallen across the area this morning. 2 were killed in an early morning fire in Addison. Crews responded around 2:30 to reports from bystanders of a fire breaking out in the 700 block of South Ellsworth. A teen remains hospitalized following a deadly fire over the weekend in Gary, Indiana. The blaze broke out Saturday inside of a home in the 4600 block of Delaware. Firefighters pulled a 15-year-old girl and 2 elderly people from that home. The older victims died. The teen remains at Loyola University Medical Center in Maywood. Chicago police are investigating a double homicide on the Northwest Side. 2 men were walking early yesterday near Belden and Austin when someone in a black vehicle shot at them. The Divvy bike sharing program coming to an end tomorrow in Oak Park after the village board voted to end that service because of low ridership and high cost. Family and friends are mourning the death of a former local television weatherman, John Coleman. The 83-year-old passed away Saturday at his home in Las Vegas. Coleman worked as a meteorologist in the Chicago area, including shifts at several area stations, and later co-founded the Weather Channel. Bulls make the second stop on their 3-game road trip tonight against the Pelicans. They open it with a win over the Hawks. Blackhawks and Lightning meet tonight at the United Center. The news a service of Pringles. When you stack up different flavors of Pringles, you create amazing new flavors. Stack up cheddar cheese, jalapeno, and French onion dip, Pringles, and you've got yourself a 3-layer dip stack, which makes you a genius. Stack different flavors, create endless new ones with Pringles. 8:04, a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Here's some great news. If you missed the deadline to sign up for health insurance, or more importantly, if you signed up for a plan that you're just not happy with, you still have a choice. It's called Medi-Share. Medi-Share is a Christian healthcare sharing program that's been around for 25 years, and they have hundreds of thousands of members all across the country. And get this, over the years, Medi-Share members have shared more than $1 billion of each other's medical bills. Best of all, you could save a lot of money with Medi-Share. The typical savings for a family is about $500 a month. Your savings could be more or less, but think about what you could do with that extra money. Think you're stuck with a high-cost health plan that doesn't have a lot to offer? Well, think again. You can join Medishare anytime, so call them today and check it out. Here's the number to find out more, and there's no pressure. They're super easy to talk to. 844-41-BIBLE. That's 844-41-BIBLE. 844-41-BIBLE.
When you're hiring, you want qualified candidates fast, and it can be hard to know where to find them. More than 3 million businesses use Indeed.com, the world's #1 job site. Whether you need entry-level or highly skilled employees, Indeed helps you find great talent and make the right hire. Indeed is offering new users a $50 credit to give their first job post premium visibility as a sponsored job. Redeem this offer at Indeed.com/promo. That's Indeed.com/promo. Terms, conditions, and quality standards apply.
What happened? You used to go hours without visiting the bathroom. Now it seems like you're constantly getting up to pee. Listen, the makers of Super Beta Prostate are introducing a new wonder pill, Super Beta Prostate P3 Advanced, with 3 key ingredients that are great for your prostate. To celebrate, your first 30-day supply is free. Pay shipping and handling. Get P3 Advanced free. Call 1-800-215-9360. 1-800-215-9360. 1-800-215-9360.
8:06. Let's get an update on the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here is Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. It's very heavy after the fog and rain on the inbound Kennedy and Eisenhower especially. The Kennedy runs an hour and 25 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. The delays start now around Harlem. It's 55 minutes from Montrose, 40 in the Express. Outbound 50 to the airport. The Eisenhower is an hour and 25 minutes as well from 390 to downtown. An hour 5 from Manheim. Outbound an hour to 390. The Edens is 30 minutes. Lake Cook Junction, outbound 35. The Stevenson from 355 to Lakeshore Drive, an hour 15, outbound 52 minutes. Ryan, 30 minutes, 95th to the Loop. I-57, 35 minutes. I-80 to the Merge, Bishop Ford, 50. Tri-State southbound, slow 132 to pass Bradley, and from the Lake Forest Oasis to Duffy, then Lawrence to the Bensonville Bridge. Northbound, 115th, 31st, and Roosevelt to the bridge. Adams Tollway still heavy past Powers after a crash. Reagan Tollway slow 25 to 59, 53 to 355 at Midwest to the Eisenhower. Veterans Memorial jammed. I-55 most of the way to St. Charles, and North Avenue to Lake. Northwest Indiana's fine. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Jim, thank you. The AM 560 Business Beat has, in spite of the threat of government shutdown, stocks reaching a boiling point. Dow finishing above 26,000 for the first time, rising 54. And that's where we will start today. 26,072. The NASDAQ had the biggest percentage jump among major indexes, and we'll watch that this morning as well. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues after your official Chicagoland weather forecast with meteorologist Kevin Snyder.
Patchy morning fog, otherwise today periods of rain and a thunderstorm, high 55. Evening showers followed by periods of late night snow and rain, accumulating a coating to an inch, low 32. Morning snow showers, then remaining cloudy and breezy the rest of the day. Tomorrow, high 35. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
46 and rain showers at O'Hare, 41 along the lakefront. Next news, 8:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Get Down to Business with Shalom Klein, the show for business and jobs powered by Tandem HR. Heard Sunday evenings at 6.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. This is an interesting new book from an interesting place. Of course, you know, Amy, my affinity for George Mason University because it has produced such great minds. Well, it features such great minds as Walter Williams, Tyler Cohen, and our next guest, Brian Kaplan. He's a professor of economics at George Mason. He's the author of a provocative new book, The Case Against Education. And I think there's more to it than meets the title, but that's what you're supposed to do with book titles. Tease people.
Right.
To get them to read it.
You to buy it.
Let's talk a little bit about that with Professor Brian Kaplan, who joins us now. Brian, thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate it.
I am delighted to be here.
So here's the thing. When you have somebody who's got a BA from Berkeley and a PhD from Princeton in economics say that we should ignore the education system in its current form, it seems to be like, the rich telling the poor not to worry about money, isn't it?
Well, I mean, I think of myself as a whistleblower, so I've just
Okay.
seen so much waste from the inside for so long. I just think taxpayers ought to know what's going on.
And what is
And
going
what is
on?
going on?
Yeah.
What's going on is that government spends almost $1 trillion a year teaching people stuff that they are most of which they're very unlikely to ever use in the job, that the kids find boring. Right, and so as I say, like if you're not going to use it and you don't enjoy it, then really, what else can you call it except wasteful?
Well, can you give me like more concrete examples of wasteful spending in education?
Yeah, sure. I mean, just one example. So, like almost every high school in the country has a foreign language requirement. Almost all colleges have foreign language requirements. And yet, virtually no one successfully learns foreign languages in American schools.
So true.
So it's not like you're ever going to use these languages. Thanks to immigration, there's always plenty of people who are actually fluent in the languages for any job where someone actually needs a fluency in the foreign language. So why go and make people spend 2 or 3 or 4 years studying a language they're never going to use and don't enjoy?
Well, there's also this seems to me, and I think you point this out as well, the inertia behind doing things the way we've always done it in spite of the evidence. So we've known for 30 years that kids best learn foreign languages in grade school, but the mandates, as you were saying, the requirements are at the high school and collegiate level.
Yeah, and of course the way people learn is by immersion, but that's not the way that classes are generally run either. Or you can just look at things like teaching of history, where like the amount that people actually learn is next to nothing. And yet again, we spend years on this. But I mean, what's really striking is just how low retention is. So it's one thing to go and see what people know the day of the final exam, which isn't that great, but it's still something. But you come back and look at what adults actually remember from the classes they took. That's what's really dismal, and again, next to nothing. So I mean, of course, it's always easy to say, why don't we just redouble our efforts? But when we put in almost $1 trillion a year into this stuff and we get so little, so that's when it's time to back away and think there's probably better ways of spending the money.
And so are we talking about the emergence of online and having kids watch TED Talks and otherwise be around people in particular disciplines or professional callings? That's the way to learn?
Well, I mean, for things like that, those are great for people who actually are curious about the world, which unfortunately is just a small subset of kids. So I mean, online education means that anyone who really wants to understand the world and become enlightened can do it for free, which I also say really undercuts whatever case there ever was for taxpayer support of these things, because now anyone can do it. It's not like the poor cannot go and watch TED Talks, unless you like even in the library you could do it. But sort of the heart of the book, though, is why is it that employers seem to reward studying all these subjects that are not really very useful in the real world? And there, my big story is that what's going on is that students are getting credentialed, or they're getting certified by the system. So even if you go and study a foreign language you're never going to use, if you were to just say, hey, this is stupid, I'm not going to do it, employers will say, gee, I don't want to hire someone who, given a dumb test, says it's stupid and refuses to do it. I want to hire people who try and strive and show their stuff. So, I mean, we've gotten into the system where someone who just unilaterally says, I'm wasting my time, I'm not going to do this, does endure a huge career penalty. So, it's, basically, taxpayer support has encouraged this very wasteful rat race.
So wasting, public funds on education, I understand that. So how do you feel about post-high school, going to college? Should parents, I've got 2 young boys, should we not even bother using our own money to try and send them to school?
Not at all. So again, the heart of my book is a big difference between the social point of view of education and what I call the selfish point of view. So selfishly speaking, education is a very good deal for good students. Right? If your kids are struggling in school, then I would not recommend college. But if they've been good students, then college pays. It's the main gatekeeper for good jobs. But for government to go and encourage it really is really is just a futile thing, because if I'm right and the main thing that you're doing in school is showing off and saying, hey, look at me, I'm in the top 25% of the population. Well, I mean, everyone can't be in the top 25%. So, if really what school we're doing, we're pouring job skills into kids, then you could say, well, great, because now we're all going to be more skilled, we're all going to have better jobs, we'll all be more successful. But if what you're doing is putting stickers on people's foreheads saying, grade A worker, well, if everyone has those stickers, then it doesn't mean anything anymore. There's an old internet meme that says, when everyone has a bachelor's degree, nobody does. And that would have been a fine book cover for my book.
But I mean, you're still talking about only about a third of the population that's actually going to college.
Well, a third finishing. Big.
Okay.
So over double that share of high school graduates start some kind of college afterwards. I think it's about 70% of high school graduates then immediately go on and start some kind of college, whether 4-year or community college. It's the finishing that's key, and unfortunately for those kids, it's the finishing that gets almost all the reward. Just getting 3 years of school, 3 years of college is almost worthless in the labor market.
Yeah. So what about for those good students? You said it's a good deal for good students. Then how do you view something like what Peter Thiel is doing with his foundation with the $100,000 grants, in essentially like seed capital for smart students at good schools to leave college and who have a good entrepreneurial idea and pursue building their business?
Yeah, it's a great experiment. I mean, if I were the parents of a recipient, I'd still be pretty nervous and thinking, maybe this will work out. But then again, maybe there'll be a big stigma against you. Why are you the smart kid that didn't go to college? But yeah, I mean, if a philanthropist wants to go and explore ways of trying to improve the system, that seems like a really promising approach. Although, would I want to bet my own kid's future on it? I don't know.
I don't know if you've heard about this, but here in Chicago, Mayor Emanuel, starting in the year 2020, is only going to hand out high school diplomas if you prove that you are going to either enroll in the military, have a job, proof that you have a job after high school, or that you're going to college. What do you think of that?
I think I vaguely heard something. So you could be a fantastic student, pass all your classes, and but you're not doing those things, then you don't get the diploma?
Yeah. Isn't that sick?
Yeah.
I mean, as a parent, I just think it's none of his business. What if my kids go to school every day, have perfect attendance or great attendance, and get good grades? It is not of his concern what they do once they leave CPS. They're not his property anymore.
Yeah, I mean, that does sound really weird. Again, what I think would be a much better idea would be to actually have high standards for being able to graduate, and then for kids that just don't seem very interested in that, trying to get them to do vocational education at a much earlier age. I mean, right now we think of vocational education as something that you do after everything else hasn't worked out for you, right? And I think there's a lot of kids who just resent school. They don't like it. They'd like to do something practical, but the current system is so geared towards college that by the time that they have a choice, they're very resentful. They don't feel like trying something else after having been told they're failures and 3 other times.
I get the idea of more latitude and more choice with respect to pursuing a vocation versus the kind of the traditional liberal arts education. But what about the argument that's made more recently and perhaps most aggressively by Jordan Peterson up at the University of Toronto and others? Is it just romantic to say, well, education is about learning to think, learning to make arguments. It's not about memorizing every Shakespearean play, but it is about exposing yourself to the broad range of art and intellectual thought across a range of disciplines, and that's sort of intrinsic to being a good citizen and living the life well lived.
Right. Well, there's two things going on there. So some of them can be tested, and some can't. Stuff that can and has been tested is, like, does education teach people how to think? And, there's a whole discipline of education, or a whole field of educational psychology that's been studying this for about a century. They really want to believe that there's a lot of teaching kids how to think, and yet when they actually go and do experiments and look at the evidence, they come away shell-shocked and say, my God, it's really hard to teach people how to think. It's just, usually you're actually lucky if kids learn the exact material they're taught. Learning how to think is such a moonshot that, it looks very difficult. Now, saying isn't that an intrinsic part of a life well lived? In the book, I say yes, but I also say that you can't conscript people into that.
Right.
So yeah, you have to wait for someone to come around to being curious about ideas and culture in his own good time. And the way that we just try to ram it down kids' throats when you're between the ages of 5 and 22, it sounds unpromising. And if you just look at what college graduates know about this stuff, like when people are forced to study something they don't want to, no matter how intrinsically valuable it is, the main thing that you get is just some lip service. They just learn the minimum they need in order to get the grades, and then they forget it and move away and probably resent it too. So, so again, that's where I think online education is doing great work. It's giving people the enlightenment that they're interested in when they finally get around to feeling like it, which might be when you're 40 or 50 or 70.
One of the things your colleague Tyler Cohen suggests, and I think he wrote a piece in his a post in his Marginal Revolution blog about his interaction with you on this topic, is that people that are wealthy or people that are know people that are very talented, very successful, they don't realize their friend circle, their kind of social circle, is as much of an educational tool as it could be. In other words, exposing their children to somebody who's very successful in business or very successful in the arts or whatever that are within their circle of influence. And he, I think, mentioned an example where you brought your kid to him to teach, to have Tyler teach your kid something that, he thought was important for kids to learn.
We went to Tyler's house to see his art collection.
Oh, okay. All right. So what about that? What about that supposition that Cohen makes?
Yeah, well, so if you've got people like that you know, and if your kid has at least some remote curiosity, then I think it's a great approach. So my kids actually went in thinking his art was terrible, and they went away saying, "Oh, a little bit of it is okay, but most of it was even worse than we thought." Tyler owns a Jasper Johns, which is like a bullseye target, and they're like, "What the hell is that thing?" It's like, and I said, "Oh, the thing's $50,000." Like, "Oh, you're crazy." If you have people like that, that's great. Like the real crucial ingredient for just for enriching education is the students got to have some kind of curiosity. It's one thing to be like, I don't know, maybe I can work with that, but if the kid's like, this sucks, I hate this. All right, well then you just need to wait for that kid to come around, and maybe the kid will never come around. But going and saying, sit down, shut up, you're going to learn about opera now, seems like a terrible approach to me.
All right, he is Bryan Caplan, professor of economics at George Mason University, author of the new book.
Yes, the book, The Case Against Education.
Yes.
You can get it on Amazon.
All right, The Case Against Education on Amazon. Bryan Caplan, Caplan, the book, The Case Against Education. Bryan, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thanks so much. Great fun.
And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
Listen to podcasts of Dan and Amy from the AM 560 mobile app. Download it today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
Coming up, gender equality in those insufferable Hollywood award shows. But first, here's your forecast. Rain should move out here around 9 o'clock this morning, but it will be on and off throughout the day. A high of 54 degrees with areas of fog. Tonight, breezy, a few evening showers that will be turning from rain to snow, a low of 32. And tomorrow morning, we're going to have anywhere from a dusting to an inch of snow and a high of 33 degrees. But, Dan, I've been looking at the forecast for you. Friday, you should definitely go golfing. It's going to be partly sunny and 50 degrees.
Thanks for the heads up.
Tea time. Now let's get into the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here is Jim Telemonte.
Amy and Dan in Mundelein, there's a crash involving a school bus. It's on Hawley west of 45. No word on injuries. West side of Chicago, southbound Damon is blocked. Roosevelt to 18th. Got a truck stuck in the viaduct. Eden's 25 minutes. Lake Cook to Montrose outbound 35. On Kennedy, delays start at Harlem. Hour and 25 minutes. O'Hare to downtown. Much quicker than the Express. Outbound 39 minutes. Eisenhower. An hour and 25 minutes, 390 to downtown. An hour 5 from Manheim, up on 55 minutes, 390. Stevenson, an hour and 15 minutes, 355 to the drive, up on 52 minutes. It's 30 minutes on the ride from 95th to downtown. Tri-State southbound still heavy in pockets between 132 and Duffy, and then from Lawrence to the Bensonville Bridge. Northbound delays, 115th to 31st and Roosevelt to the bridge. Veterans Memorial, still I-55 to the Reagan Tollway. Finley to St. Charles and North Avenue to Lake. Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Hola! Hello, and we are heading to Riviera Maya, Mexico this year for our annual Passport to Paradise trip presented by Arlington Heights Heating and Cooling and by Joe Cotton Ford.
Well, we're in Mexico.
We'll be staying at the Secrets Maroma Beach Riviera Cancun Resort and Spa. It's a gorgeous resort with 9 gourmet restaurants, 6 bars, unlimited premium drinks. There's 24-hour room service. You know, it has all the bells and whistles, but it's a beautiful property, adults only, situated on Maroma Beach, which is recognized as one of the world's best beaches. So join us and book your trip by going to 560theanswer.com/passport. Apple Vacations has secured a great price for us for this trip, but it won't last forever. And pay attention. From now until February 9th, you can enter to win a trip for two for free. That's right, you're winning it. By downloading and launching the AM560 mobile app. Just go to 560theanswer.com/mobile to get the mobile app and enter to win this trip. But don't miss your chance to escape the cold and snow of Chicago, too, and spend a week with us in paradise. We have a lot of people signed up so far, and I have an excursion planned. We're going to go diving in Cozumel one day. And, Dan, you want to come with? Yeah, sure. You want this live read to end. Go to 560theanswer.com/passport.
Well said, Amy. Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
We are so thrilled with this product. He was literally getting up, laying on the couch, and falling asleep. He's so alert. It's amazing. Totally amazing. This is a great product. His sodium levels have been low for, I would say, maybe close to 20 years. He's normal now. And this is the first time. And I can't even thank you enough.
The last thing I want to do is stop taking this. I definitely have lots more energy.
Have the confidence that you're giving your body what it needs. Call now to receive 35% off your first Balance of Nature order. Call 1-800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code Chicago.
Message and data rates may apply.
Guys, this may be the last time you ever have to think about hair loss. Because I'm telling you, Bosley is the real deal. They're giving men their hair back permanently. Their real hair. All it takes to get started on the hair gain train is a single text message. We'll send you a link with direct access to a special website that unlocks an incredible offer. An absolutely free information kit and a free gift card. Simply text STRONG to 85850. Bosley will show you for free how great your hair could look. Dude, this isn't your dad's hair loss treatment. People all over the country trust Bosley because they're America's #1 hair restoration expert, ahead of the curve with the latest technology. And the best part, Bosley's solution is permanent. Drop what you're doing, get direct access to a special site for your free information kit and gift card for $250 off by texting STRONG to 85850. That's STRONG to 85850.
On AM 560 The Answer, we talk about the important issues that affect your world. Things like the economy, education, and foreign policy. There's always so much going on in the news that we don't always have the time to focus in and talk about the big ideas behind the important issues. Enter Upstream Ideas online at upstream-ideas.com. Upstream Ideas, in partnership with the Illinois Opportunity Project, provides the kind of information that informs the policy discussions happening here on AM 560. At Upstream Ideas, you'll broaden the debate, move beyond partisan assumptions, and challenge accepted beliefs. Upstream Ideas goes against the current and thinks upstream. Go online now at upstream-ideas.com. That's upstream-ideas.com. You'll be armed with new information and fresh perspectives to help encourage you to make the state of Illinois and the United States of America a bit freer, a bit more just, and a bit more civilized. Upstream-ideas.com.
Hey guys, Ken here from the award-winning podcast Today's Growth. If you had to choose sides, which camp would you rather be in? Would you rather have time and no money, or money and no time? Did you know that 95% of U.S. adults by choice have settled into these categories? Much more interesting is that 1 out of 20 people have built their life around achieving simultaneous control of both time and money. What choices did these 5% make that the others didn't? My friends at Income Store have shown both households and businesses how to build second, third, and even fourth revenue streams for the express purpose of gaining control of time. When it comes to helping folks create their next revenue model, both Forbes and Inc. recommend Income Store as a can't miss. Could your household or business use an additional revenue model that doesn't solely depend on you? If so, you need to check out IncomeStore.com. That's IncomeStore.com.
Go to IncomeStore.com today. That's IncomeStore.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy, good morning. We got some reactions to the Brian Kaplan interview, the professor from George Mason University. The Case Against Education, his book. Sounds like we need Father Guido Sarducci's 5-Minute University.
I find that education, I think it don't matter where you go to school. Italy, America, Brazil, it's all the same. It's all just memorization. And it don't matter how long you can remember anything, just so you can parrot it back for the test. And I got this idea for a school I would like to start. Something called the 5-Minute University. And the idea is that in 5 minutes, you learn what the average college graduate remembers 5 years after he or she's out of school. With the cost of like $20. That might seem like a lot of money, $20 just for 5 minutes. But that's for like a tuition, cap and gown rental, graduation picture, snacks, everything included. You know, like in college, you have to take a foreign language. Well, at the 5-Minute University, you can have your choice. Any language you want, you can take it. Say if you want to take Spanish, what I teach you is, ¿Cómo está usted? That means, how are you? And the answer is, muy bien, means very well. And believe me, if you took 2 years of college Spanish, 5 years after you're out of school, ¿Cómo está usted? Muy bien, about all you're going to remember.
Perhaps Peyton and Eli could be the first 2 enrollees at 5-Minute University, Father Guido Sarducci.
Father Guido Sarducci. Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Scarlett Johansson versus Congresswoman Jamie Herrera Butler. We'll have the compare contrast at 8:38.
But first, into the newsroom we go. Here's Mike Scott.
46 and rain showers this morning and heavy fog throughout the area. Georgia authorities are searching a hotel at this moment. Local police say a man walked in carrying firearms. This is an unfolding story in Henry County, south of Atlanta. The man was not a guest, and he is in custody. But a police spokesman says it's part of an early investigation. The hotel was evacuated, and SWAT officers are still going through that hotel room to room. The Senate scheduled to vote later today on another proposal to end the government shutdown. It should happen sometime between 11 and noon Chicago time. The FBI missing text messages between 2 employees working on investigations into Hillary Clinton's emails and Russian meddling in the election. Senator Ron Johnson of Wisconsin says the texts between the FBI agent and lawyer were lost because of what's being termed a tech failure. People in Arkansas, Texas, and Missouri starting the work week on edge after a series of scary storms overnight. Severe thunderstorms dropped at least 3 tornadoes on parts of the 3 states, and more intense storms are possible today in the Deep South. Tornadoes damaging homes in East Texas, Central Arkansas, and Southwest Missouri. Police in Florida looking for someone running away from a mall in Lake Wales, where 2 pipe bombs exploded Sunday evening. Heavy fog still causing some travel issues here in the Chicago area. 2 were killed in a fire early this morning in Addison. A teen remains hospitalized following a deadly fire that claimed 2 lives over the weekend in Gary, Indiana. And Chicago police are investigating a double homicide on the northwest side. It happened yesterday near Belden and Austin, and police tell us the shooter remains on the loose. The Bulls make their second stop on their 3-game road trip tonight against the Pelicans. They began with a win over the Hawks, 113-97. Blackhawks and Lightning meet tonight at the UC. Your Super Bowl is set. New England will take on the Eagles, who crushed the Vikings 38-7 in the NFC title game. The news a service of Pringles. When you stack up different flavors of Pringles, you create amazing new flavors. Stack up cheddar cheese, jalapeno, and French onion dip Pringles, and you've got yourself the 3-layer dip stack, which makes you a genius. Stack different flavors, create endless new ones with Pringles. 8:34. We'll have a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Mike Gallagher says talk of a coup is no laughing matter.
I want you to consider the seriousness of an attempt at a coup. This isn't funny. This isn't lighthearted. This shouldn't be just gossip. watching people attempt to take down a presidency is starting to really get my attention.
The Mike Gallagher Show, weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
A bad cold and flu season is upon us. The main difference between them is the flu brings a fever. Be prepared with the Exergen Temporal Scanner Thermometer, backed by more than 70 clinical studies.
Are you stuck in a bad home mortgage? Well, join the club that has about 10 million other American families. But I may be able to help you. My name is Lou Bridges. I'm an attorney with the law firm of Lou Bridges & Associates. We've been helping distressed homeowners like you for over 8 years now. Give us a call. We provide free consultations. I guarantee you it will not be a sales pitch. We will give you our honest legal analysis, counsel, recommendations, and advice regarding your options.
We are experts in doing loan modifications successfully. We know the regs. We understand the process. Most importantly, we don't take no for an answer. We fight. We are prepared, and we win. We save houses. We make houses affordable. So if you want to keep your house affordable, contact us.
Go to bridgeslaw.net or call 224-513-1231. That's 224-513-1231.
Remember, people, never give up the land. Fight for truth and justice. You do that, I guarantee you'll never be alone in this country.
It's 8:35. Let's get an update on that morning ride to work. We do that in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center and get the very latest with Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. On the Aidens Expressway inbound, it's heavy Foster to Montrose. 25 minutes, Lake Cook Junction, outbound 35. On Kennedy, delay started at Austin, an hour and 12 minutes. O'Hare to downtown, 45 minutes from Montrose, 40 in the Express. Outbound 39 to O'Hare. The Eisenhower's an hour and 25 minutes from 390 to downtown, an hour 5 from Manheim. Outbound 55 minutes to 390. Stevenson, an hour and 10 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Outbound 44 minutes. Ryan, 30 minutes, 95th to downtown. Tri-State southbound, so 132 to around Bradley. The Lake Forest Oasis to Duffy and Lawrence to the Bensonville Bridge. Northbound from 115th to 31st and Roosevelt to the bridge. Adams Tollway heavy around Powers after a crash. Regan Tollway slow 25 to 59, 53 to 355, and Midwest to the Eisenhower. Veterans Memorial jammed northbound I-55 to the Reagan Tollway and heavy North Avenue to Lake. Northbound 53 delays are from the Adams Tollway to Kirchhoff, southbound Rand to Kirchhoff. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. Cloudy, rain, maybe a thunderstorm. Areas of morning fog persisting across the area, high 54. Visibility still less than a mile in spots. Breezy overnight. Periods of rain turning to snow late and a low of 32. 46 at O'Hare, 41 along Chicago's lakefront. Your next news update is at 9. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Turnkey IT, giving you the freedom to focus on your business while they handle the technical stuff. Turnkey IT.
Let freedom ring this afternoon at 2 with Sean Hannity, right before Joe Walsh at 5 on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. So the PHAT posse versus the pro-lifers. Both on display over the weekend, so it was a nice opportunity to compare and contrast the two movements, if you will. I tried to pull a couple of good representatives of each side.
Okay. Oh, I'm sure. Okay. Why was the Women's March 2 days? Because it was Saturday and then it was Sunday. It continued. And the March for Life was Friday.
And she persisted.
And she didn't stop. One lady said, she's like, I was so numb from the election that last year that I marched and I don't even remember. So that's why I just
marched and I kept marching.
And I was running.
Scarlett Johansson, she's an actress, Hollywood. Yeah, I've heard of her.
I watched her speak.
She had a bit of a reputation in the Hollywood trades as someone who's. What's the Judge Smales description for his niece, Lacey Underall? There's a certain zest for life Scarlett Johansson has had in Hollywood.
Are you saying she's easy? What are you saying, Dan?
And so the question is, with respect to what you're about to hear her offer during her remarks on stage, Are we to the point now where men have to calculate a woman's self-esteem / self-worth in their interactions, or otherwise be held accountable if a woman has a moment or several, in the case of Scarlett Johansson, reportedly, of weakness? Listen to Scarlett Johansson, and also nothing better than one of the richest women who's ever walked the planet playing the victim.
My mind baffles. How could a person publicly stand by an organization that helps to provide support for victims of sexual assault while privately preying on people who have no power? I want my pin back, by the way.
James Franco.
Yeah. How is it okay for someone in a position of power to use that power to take advantage of someone in a lesser position? Just because you can, does that ever make it okay? If a person isn't saying yes, but they aren't saying no, how can anyone feel justified to make that decision for them? As I pondered
that's a riddle.
I began to notice in myself a kind of revelation too. I started to feel something bubble up inside me, a kind of rage. The revelation that this rage wasn't just for these women that were taken advantage of and ignored and unseen, but also on behalf of myself. As the rage settled in, it gave way to other feelings, sadness and unexpectedly guilt and grieving. And suddenly I was 19 again. And I started to remember all the men I'd known who'd taken advantage of the fact that I was a young woman who didn't yet have the tools to say no or to understand the value of my own self-worth. I'd had many relationships, both personal and professional, where the power dynamic was so off that I had to create a narrative in which I was the cool girl who could hang in and hang out. And that sometimes meant compromising what felt right for me. And that seemed okay, compromising my voice and therefore allowing myself to be unseen and degraded, and whether it was intended by the other party or not, because it allowed me to have the approval that women are conditioned to need. I was coming from a place, like so many young women do, of feeling like my creative value and my professional value and my sexual value could only be measured by the approval and desirability of a man. Even if I had come from a household where the conversation about self-respect was prioritized, just being a woman stacked the cards against me. Because for so many centuries, women have been taught to be polite, to please, and to pander. And I've come to realize that not just my 19-year-old self, but my schoolyard self and my married self and my professional self have all at times been a victim of this very condition, a condition that I'm certain a majority of us share.
So let me ask you, Amy, is she bootstrapping a rationalization for her past conduct, or is this a real thing she's pointing to?
In her mind, it's a real thing, but there's nothing real about anything she just said. I mean, she was trying to define her actions in the past and blaming men for it.
Even
it's
if you're,
it's a man's fault.
Even if I, the riddle, what if I'm not saying yes, but I'm not exactly saying no, and your intentions are pure, then it's still exploitive. I mean, it's essentially a patriarchy argument. The best that Scarlett Johansson can sketch one out.
And what's
you're
wrong
still
with saying
you're still
please and
culpable.
thank you.
And but the condition for men's approval, and that's the problem.
Yeah, that's why she acted the way she was, because she was always searching for their love and their approval. That sounds like a personal problem.
Victim. I'll tell you what. After listening to Scarlett Johansson's remarks, I've never had more empathy for Ryan Reynolds in my life. That short-lived marriage he had with Scarlett Johansson, that must have been really something. So there's Scarlett Johansson.
Who else spoke?
One offering.
Tell me Ashley Judd took a year off, please.
Yeah, I didn't see her.
Because I didn't see her either.
Now, on the other side, just so, again, comparison, contrast, which side do you kind of want to have been recorded as standing on? I think that's a fair question. Congresswoman Jamie Herrera Beutler, she's a Republican from Washington. She had a story to tell, too, a story about her daughter. This was at the March for Life in D.C.
A few months into my second term in Congress, my husband, Dan, and I went for our first, it was our 20-week ultrasound as excited first-time parents, and we were not prepared for what we were told. We were told that
that your baby's going to be mouthy.
We were told that our unborn baby had 0% chance of survival. 0. She had no kidneys. It was a condition called bilateral renal agenesis, and as a result, our baby would either miscarry or she would be born unable to breathe because her lungs did not develop. She would literally suffocate upon arrival, and there was nothing anyone could do about it. Talk about hopeless. Oh my heavens. No.
She just said, am I gonna?
100% fatal. Our diagnosing doctor told us often that when women get this news, they're heading across the street to schedule a termination. And at a second opinion consult, I was offered the option not to abort, but to induce early. I was around 20 weeks at this point, and I said, so what is early? And she said, like today, like this week. The sooner you start over, the better off you're going to be emotionally. That's what we were told. So Dan and I prayed and we cried and we learned to contend. And in that devastation, I'm telling everybody, we saw hope. What if God would do a miracle? What if a doctor was willing to try something new? What if we could get saline infusions in utero to mimic the amniotic fluid so the baby could develop even without kidneys? What if? We would never have known if we hadn't tried. And through divine intervention, and some very courageous doctors who are willing to take a risk, we now get to experience our daughter Abigail, who is a healthy, happy 4-year-old sister, big sister, who says that someday she's going to be the boss of mommy's work. Look out, Speaker Ryan.
And Congresswoman Herrera, close of the question.
What if every baby was given at least a shot to reach their true potential?
So on the one hand, I would argue you have other regarding love. That was exemplified the pro-life movement. On the other hand, you have self-regarding invective. And that was on display in great numbers and with great volume at all these PHAT marches. So which side do you want to be on? 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line. 64636DA, turnkey.pro text line. Dennis in Crystal Lake.
Dan, the difference between those two, whatever you want to call that first one and the second one is amazing. I mean, the Yentas, broads, whatever you want to call them in the first one, you know, their seats in hell are waiting. I spent 21 years in the military, been working at the same job for 19 years. Where is all this so-called women bashing, women hating? I don't see it. And Amy, I don't want to hear about your stories and your people because I don't see it. And women are getting as much pay, as much everything in the military and where I work. So you know what? I hope you guys all go to hell, whoever had an abortion. Goodbye.
Okay, Dennis, take it easy.
Dennis,
that's not
please.
the position. That's not the position.
Then you guys look like the crazy ones.
Well, that's
like that.
that's
HE double hockey.
That's not the position. And Paul Ryan and others made it very clear that, again, this isn't about passing judgment on women, including women and abortion. The pro-life movement, a hospital to heal women who have been hurt, even if some of the wounds were self-inflicted. That's the position of the pro-life movement. Abortion hurts women. It's not about vilifying women. Vilifying women is what the Women's March does. If you don't agree with me, you're not a woman, or you're a traitor to femininity.
Remember when President
Seriously.
Trump wanted to get women who had abortions arrested?
Yeah, he had to walk that back.
Yeah, he had to walk that back.
Tim in Woodstock.
Hi, good morning, Dan and Amy. You know, it was just
astounding listening to that woman's comments, but I wanted to focus in on, I don't know what in the world she meant when she said that I was 19 years old and I didn't have the tools to say no. But what on earth is, yeah, maybe that's because the school systems don't teach the difference between right and wrong anymore. Anything with any religious connotation, people are talked about as being simply full of fear or irrational. Well, we don't teach children the difference between right and wrong. So when they're 19s, they don't, maybe they don't have the tools to know how to say no to a man who wants to take advantage of them.
Thanks for the call, Tim. I think that may be a part of it. I think the other part of it is Scarlett Johansson looking back on her life and regretting some of the decisions she made and not wanting to take responsibility for those decisions. And it's easier to blame kind of this abstraction called the patriarchy, or suggest that you were a victim, you didn't have the tools, the power relationship was skewed. Well, guess what? Every power relationship with every human interaction is skewed. It's never exactly the same. I mean, it's employer, employee, teacher, student, parent, child, etc. I mean, it's just such a intellectually vacuous position that she's taking. That's why I suggest that she's bootstrapping her argument to rationalize her own conduct. And the good news about that is that she's reflecting on her previous conduct, and she doesn't like some of the things she did. So it shows there's a conscience there. So I guess that's a note of hope. Sean from Elmwood Park.
First off, who has to read their opinion? Did you hear? And read it poorly. So it really does go to show you the magic of editing in Hollywood, because she seems relatively competent in all of her acting parts. And as far as a woman's march, Prof, I don't know where you grew up, but that looked like a free wig day at a Teamster Union Hall to me. So congratulations to the men in those women's life. I hope they have another march next weekend for your sake. It's outrageous.
It was amazing. The stores were empty, grocery stores. I went shopping. I got a lot done.
Will and Skokie.
Good morning. I got two daughters, both of which went military, and one is still in. And you hear from them the whining that you heard from Miss Johansson, the basically, oh, I'm so confused, and I'm going to blame all my problems on the patriarchy. And I never let them get away with it. I says, look, you've been to war. Don't give me this crap that you can't say no. Don't give me this crap that you're oppressed. Don't give me any of this stuff. You can handle things. And I think it's just time for women to start manning up.
Thanks for the call.
Bye-bye.
There's only one radio show in Chicago talking about today's biggest stories and telling you what they really mean. That show is this one, Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560, The Answer.
Shoot Point Blank is Chicago's leading shooting range and firearms store. Featuring 20 climate-controlled shooting lanes, complete retail store, and firearm education classes for all experience levels. Whether you're a new or expert shooter, now you can experience the Shoot Point Blank difference and see for yourself why so many people are talking about Shoot Point Blank.
I can tell you, I was impressed as soon as I walked through the door. The employees were really helpful, very patient, and knowledgeable, too.
My wife and I had a wonderful experience. We felt very comfortable and informed.
Brett was very friendly and respectful, and he answered all my questions. Because I'm new to pistols, I'm grateful he was patient and helped me decide what to buy for my new firearm.
For a huge selection of new and used firearms, ammo, and state-of-the-art indoor shooting range, visit them in Hodgkins, Mokina, Naperville, or Merrillville. Or check out shootpointblank.com. Experience the difference. Shoot Point Blank.
I have a great idea for the new year. If you haven't bought your MyPillow yet, get the buy one, get one free offer because it has been extended through January 31st. Remember, this deal is only available online using the promo code Amy. It is not available in stores, so I urge you to go online or call now and take advantage by using the promo code Amy. You'll get the absolute best deal available. MyPillows absolutely help me get a great night's sleep by moving the fill. I get the support I need regardless if I sleep on my back or side, and I do not wake up with a stiff neck or headache. They're made in America, and you can wash them and dry them. They're hypoallergenic. Plus, you have a 10-year warranty and a 60-day money-back guarantee. So get your buy one, get one free MyPillow by calling 800-489-0201. Use the promo code Amy or visit MyPillow.com. That's 800-489-0201. 800-489-0201. Promo code Amy.
It's going to happen. You're going to need a plumber. And when you do, choose AHS Plumbing and Sewer. Always honest service. That's what they stand for. Their team has over 25 years experience in the plumbing, drain, and sewer care business. If you have drains backing up, water leaks, or basement flooding, call AHS Plumbing and Sewer to solve your issue quickly and permanently. Serving Lake County, Illinois and North Cook County. Over 700 Angie's List reviews and dozens of awards. A-plus rated with the Better Business Bureau. AHS Plumbing specializes in all types of drain and sewer care, including flood control. They're the company people know, like, and trust to care for their homes. Not the biggest, simply the best. Licensed, bonded, and insured, ready to serve your plumbing, drain, and sewer care needs in Lake County, Illinois and North Cook County. Need a plumber? Call AHS Plumbing and Sewer. Call Dan the Plumber at 847-636-2124. That's 847-636-2124. Online at ahsplumbing.com. ahsplumbing.com.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
We love the product. I think we've been on it for, 12 years now, or pretty close, and we believe in it, and we're going to continue taking it.
I have a $1,200 knee brace because I have bone-on-bone in my left knee, and I have a torn cartilage in my right knee. And since I've been taking Balance of Nature, I don't wear my brace, and I can walk without pain. It's I had these copper things I used to put on my knees. I don't use those either. I don't use anything. I think it's just wonderful.
Have the confidence that you're giving your body what it needs. Call now to receive 35% off your first Balance of Nature order. Call 1-800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code CHICAGO.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
I'm Amanda Zanger, owner of Black Industrial and Safety Supply in Hammond, Indiana, and a business customer of Signature Bank. Prior to owning my own business, I worked for a major financial institution. So when it came time to finance the acquisition of Black, I approached a big bank, only to receive a solid no. That's when Signature Bank stepped in. With Signature Bank, the process was different. Signature provided creative financing options that enabled me to purchase Black and continue to grow the business. Thanks to Signature Bank, Black Industrial is able to continue serving Fortune 500 industry fabricators and contractors with tools and safety supplies as we have since 1893.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. To learn more about turning your business vision into reality, visit signaturebank.bank. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Building owners and managers. When it comes to maintaining the value of your commercial, industrial, or institutional building, there will be roof repairs or replacements for you to deal with. When you're looking for a good roofing contractor, search the ChicagoRoofing.org website for Chicagoland's best roofing contractors for repairs, replacements, or new construction. And you can check out their innovative roofing work also. All contractors at ChicagoRoofing.org proudly employ members of Roofers Union Local 11 who have undergone 5 years of rigorous training at the country's leading school for roofing, the Chicagoland Roofers Joint Apprenticeship Training Center. ChicagoRoofing.org contractors are at the top of their game and provide Chicagoland's best value for the best roofs all year long. Building owners and managers, you will have roof repairs or replacements to deal with. It's inevitable. Go to ChicagoRoofing.org. That's ChicagoRoofing.org.
Have you racked up more than $10,000 in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by, making minimum payments? You should know the credit card companies are tricking you into thinking there's no way out. Credit card companies would rather you didn't know that there are ways you can become debt-free and you don't have to pay the entire amount you owe. There are debt relief programs that help people like you escape overwhelming credit card debt. National Debt Relief has helped tens of thousands of people just like you reduce more than $500 million of debt. National Debt Relief has helped so many people they're A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau. You don't have to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan. You have the right to settle your debt for a mere fraction of what you owe. Reduce a large portion of your debt now. Call National Debt Relief at 800-694-7394. 800-694-7394. That's 800-694-7394.
AM 560, The Answer.
A lot of reaction to our Scarlett Johansson. ScarJo can be hot and still be wrong. That's one text.
You're not going to read that other one, are you?
Don't
do it. Don't do it.
630 regarding Johansson. Women have been conditioned to be polite. Seriously, they were also conditioned to not be sluts.
Oh.
What a difference between the two crowds. One group celebrating happy, one group victim and angry. There you go.
Thanks so much for making us part of your morning. Thanks to Justin Kosick, our technical director, associate producer, Quinn McCarthy, and our executive producer, Keith Conrad. We're back here tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. Now, here is Mike Scott.
Amy will have details on another royal wedding. Breaking news from England. That's tomorrow morning. Dense fog causing problems for us here in Chicago. WIND Chicago News Time is 9 o'clock.
Hundreds of thousands of Americans have the day off.